Well, hello gearheads. Welcome to the Blind Mike Project, a show where Blind Mike gives his fire hot takes on podcasts, comedians, and internet weirdos. Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike, including shows like Why Are You Laughing and Who Are These Socials. The Blind Mike Project is also a podcast, so get it wherever you get your podcasts. And now your host, a man with a sixth sense for comedy, the one, the only, Blind Mike Geary.
HACKRIDE retired?
I don't know what happened, but I know I have this intro for I think next week.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I think he's on next week.
Yeah, one more week of Craig to get through. This is where it's like last week was like, hey, Craig's back. And this week it's like, all right, let's just get to the, let's get back to Casey Day.
That's right. And then
grit our teeth and get through one more.
And then they get to Casey Day, and then it's like, where's Craig? And then it's like, where's Casey? It's
a fun cycle that that I get to go through because none of them blame me,
Yeah, you're the safest man in podcasting.
Yeah, that's right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another lovely episode of the Blind Mike Project. Good to be here Sundays consistently for a little while. I don't know. I had nothing else to say.
Just dead in your tracks there.
I guess let's just start the show, huh? Well, we do have a new goal. Are you aware of that?
No.
The new goal, baby, is 10,000 subscribers.
Oh, yes.
People love to hit a goal around here, and I'm not above using another man, mocking his self-promotion for my own self-promotion. So, guys, our goal is 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's free. So subscribe on YouTube and get those numbies up, baby. BlindMike.net is where you can find all those links. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find the Blind Mike Project, Why Are You Laughing, Who Are These Socials. All those links are at blindmike.net. Subscribe on YouTube. Poke the like button. Tap the notification bell, whatever.
The like button.
Yeah, I try to be different than all the.
Yeah.
I'm a hipster in that way. And then just become a member if you'd like. Patreon, YouTube, if you like early access and bonus content. We just did a bonus Why You Laughing? Opie and Anthony discovering the Todd Show. Mm-hmm. HACKRIDE saved Quincy in perhaps the biggest moment in Blind Mike Project history. HACKRIDE was able to find Quincy episodes. I had Craig and the Warthog sending me links to VHS tapes that I could watch it on.
No, I mocked that, and then he sent me one.
Craig was like, well, what if we invite all the patrons over to my house? I'll get a big projector.
That's the last one. That'll be the last one.
So thank you to HACKRIDE for that. And support the people that support this show. Go to verygoodshow.org. Go support DJ ELECTRA. She's trying to get those watch hours up on her YouTube channel. She's doing good music updates for shorts. So if you're into music news, go follow DJ ELECTRA and Casey Day. They're doing Unboxing Eric tonight at 9, I think.
I think it's an hour early if I'm
8.
Yeah, I believe.
Can we send people to them after this show? They mentioned we could do that, but I don't know how.
I'd have to have HACKRIDE tell me how to do that.
All right, so no.
We probably can.
Find it on your own. HackRideTheDemon.com.
Yes, go see him.
All right. So we've got a lot to get to today. I want to get to Stuttering John. I want to get to Brendan Schaub making a lot of threats. But real quick, we won't spend too much time on it. I want to mention this Trump on Rogan because it was highly anticipated. And I thought it was I thought it was like any other Rogan episode, pretty much. I don't like. There was no drama. There was no controversy, really. But I thought they had a good discussion. I think people are going to criticize Rogan for being soft on him. There's not a lot of pushback, really. And I think if he has Kamala on, which it seems like he won't now.
Trying.
He's open to it, but I don't think they are, which is probably. That was one thing I loved when Trump was like, Kamala came on here, she'd be comatose. She'd be lying on the floor.
She'd be lying on the floor.
Lying on the floor. She wouldn't know what to do with herself, as if Trump had just been grilled. He's like, I sat through this. Kamala wouldn't be able to do it.
what Rogan though got out of him, especially like right off the bat, was that like what was he had to ask it 18 times, but he asked him what was it like on the first day.
I don't know why he was so intent on that of all things. That was the one answer he wanted out of him.
Well, I think what he wanted was like what he eventually got was when you walk in the door for the first time as president, what's that like? And I thought that was kind of cool, talking about the Lincoln bedroom and all that stuff. And he knew a lot more than I thought he did.
Yeah, to me, it was like a good. It was a good Rogan episode. I think people are gonna shit on it because they want more out of it one way or the other. Either they wanted Rogan to crucify Trump, or some people are gonna say Rogan was too hard on him. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
So like, I thought it was fine though. I thought it was good that Trump sat there for 3 hours and did it the way that podcast is meant to be. But like, I just have one clip that I tweeted out of the little moments that I enjoyed, because I feel like he got kind of vintage Trump in bursts. Like on Theo Vaughn and Bussin' with the Boys, like he sounded old. Like I thought he was good on Theo, but he sounded a lot older. He had his wits about him today. So
I think this was an example. He just knew what he was getting into ahead of time, probably.
Has he said shit like this before? Like maybe this is not the first time he's said exactly this, but to me it jumped out. Like, I just like the idea that the previous and possibly future president is sitting down for a 3-hour discussion and just talking like this. So Rogan's asking about like the Ukraine and Russia.
I would have never gone into Ukraine if I were president.
How would you have stopped it?
Automatic, 2 things. I told him. I said, Vladimir, you're not going in. I used to talk to him all the time. You're not going in.
It's just not an answer. I said, you knock it off.
He has said that before.
I thought it did sound familiar to me, but
not quite that tone.
Vladimir, you're not going in. And there was like right at the very end, he's talking. They're talking about I think like the Prime Minister of France or something like that. And Trump goes,
He's such
I like him. I like him. He's a bit of a wise guy, but I like him. So there's little shit like that I enjoyed, but like it sounds cliche at this point, but like that the reason people like Trump, like something people like our boy Ojeda could never figure out, the reason people like Trump is he could sit down and do that for 3 hours, where Kamala couldn't. It wouldn't be a conversation. Like Rogan said in this episode, when Trump was saying she could never do it. She couldn't handle it. And Rogan's like, I think she could, but I would just want to have a conversation with her. I don't want to do like a debate style thing with her. I don't want to grill her. I just want to see if she can have a conversation. To me, that's more interesting because we know Trump can do that. Mm-hmm. So it'd be interesting to see Kamala do that. Because she's a much more traditional politician. I don't think she's capable, but I thought it was I thought it was interesting to listen to. It would have been more interesting if Trump never did any podcasts or anything. You know what I mean? We've seen him enough now that it's like, yeah, we've heard a lot of this shit before. But like just the idea, I don't think Ronald Reagan was sitting down with a Dick Cavett for 3 hours. You know?
No.
So like to me, that's the interesting part of it. But I'll be curious to see what you guys think. Sound off in the comments. You know.
That's right. I did enjoy it. But it was funny. Like we were talking, like how long is it going to be? And when it was full, I texted you like midnight. I was like, dude, it just dropped. It's 3 hours.
I was glad. That's the thing is, I was glad it was 3 hours because I was like, why do it for an hour? What's the point? Then it's not. Now you're putting in a Rogan in a position where it's like he has to be a different interviewer.
Well, yeah, he has to be like Brett Baer with Kamala and just keep interrupting her because he has 20 minutes.
He has to get his points out. Yeah. And there is stuff. I guess if I was like disappointed in anything, is like all Rogan has done for 4 years is talk about the lockdowns and the vaccines and all that. And like Trump did have something to do with that, and it didn't really come up. Like this thing that Rogan has been obsessed over, it wasn't really mentioned in 3 hours. So like that was a little weird, but.
Yeah, he was also at the point too, like in even the part of COVID that I hated was the mandatory stuff and obviously Fauci and everything. But at first, everyone was like, "What the hell is this?" So like at the beginning, you kind of give him a grace, but He had plenty of time to reel it in, and he didn't.
Right. That's what I mean. And if Rogan's going to be fair, then he has to question Trump on that shift. So he didn't really, but
Yeah, but I don't think he, like he said though, I don't think he's gonna do that with Kamala. But he'll just be like, "Oh, what was it like growing up?" And she'll be like, and then like stumble and not know what to say, like on a simple question.
right. I think because Rogan will do. He did this with Trump a little bit, where he's like, "Well, no, but I'm asking this."
Right.
You know, like keep her on track a little bit and kind of make her answer. So I think that'd be interesting. I think she should do it if they think she's capable.
It was wild though, seeing an interview with the president, and Rogan's like, "It's fucking wild."
Yeah, and they're talking about that's another Trump thing that I like. And this is all like we've seen it from Trump for 12 years now, whatever it's been, 8 years. But Rogan's talking about he's calling him a comedian basically, and he brings up the line to Hillary, "You should be in jail," and Rogan goes, "That's just great timing," and Trump goes, "Yes." I love the way he takes a cut. He's like, "Absolutely."
My favorite line, I think I have like an hour of it left. And my favorite line though is he's like, "Come on, Joe, you're not voting for Kamala. You're not a Kamala guy. You may be a Khabib guy, but you're not a Kamala guy."
Oh, and he did. Trump got Roganed, by the way.
Oh, did he?
He did. He goes, he goes, Rogan goes, "You did my friend Theo Vaughn's podcast." And Trump goes, "Is that the only reason I'm here? The only reason you invited me? I did Theo Vaughn." And Rogan goes, No. And Trump goes, "I'm just kidding you." It'd be great if he just like slipped into Normandisms. He's like, "Hey, comedy, I'm gay."
You are gay.
Theo gone. All right. So yeah, I didn't. Other than that, it wasn't very clippable, really. So
No.
we don't. I just wanted to talk about it because it feels like something we would talk about. So
It's gonna take down Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams, I think.
maybe. Yeah, it was up to 11 million early yesterday. So
Oh,
I
yeah, last night it was like 25 million or something like
Okay,
that
yeah,
on
yeah.
just YouTube. So
well, good for old Joe. He needs a few bucks.
yeah, he needs it.
Yes. Guys, go like and subscribe to the Joe Rogan Experience. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. Oh, before we really start, could we also get into David Collins as well?
Sure can.
David Collins has done "You scratch my back, I scratch yours" deal with Ray DeVito. He was on Ray DeVito's podcast, and then Ray DeVito was on the David Collins 0-minute half-hour show. Are you aware of this?
I saw the title and I just thought it was a typo.
Well, I've got bad news, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 has been stolen.
By who?
Well, it seems Jerry and the gas cap criminal have worked together to steal the David Collins 30-minute half-hour show's 3.
Okay.
So keep your eyes peeled. I will mention it is Jocktober, by the way.
That's true.
So keep your eyes peeled. The gas cap criminal has been giving clues as to where the 3 could be. So keep your eyes out for it. This guy's doing a show on my channel.
Yeah, the day after the election.
Guys, we've got election coverage for you. Once the next president of the United States is named, David Collins will be premiering Drive Time David Collins on Wednesday, November 6th here on this network. I was going to ask him to come on next week to give us a little more insight into what this will be. So yeah, I look forward to that. Drive Time David Collins every Wednesday at, I believe, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time.
With the recent track record, though, he'll probably decline to come on.
Yeah, I know. He's going to be doing Carl's show or something.
Yeah.
Just a couple of clips I wanted to talk about. These two, I think, should do a show together.
Mm-hmm.
David also had Tom Myers on. I'm going to have to check that out. So go check out David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. Or David Collins' 0-minute half-hour show, whatever I have to call it. But he had Tom Myers and Ray DeVito on. This is a couple clips from his Ray DeVito interview.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I never really met Blind Mike. Seems like a good guy, but someone sent me the clip where.
By the way, in the other Let me just say, he says, Blind Mike seems like a good guy. When Ray DeVito had David Collins on, he goes, but who's this Blind Mike guy who's always shitting on me? Which I'm not, by the way. I don't know what he's talking about. We've never talked about Ray DeVito.
It was always HACKRIDE.
Well, even that, I don't think he would know that. He wouldn't associate that with me.
There was this program. He made like cartoons of how much Ray DeVito sucked, like originally.
Do you think he saw that, Craig?
Maybe.
Okay.
Could have.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure he got 3 hours into our show and didn't understand it. I'm sure he watched consistently for 3 hours a week and then got confused as to if I'm HACKRIDE or not.
I do know one of the times it got clipped and sent to him and he watched it on his show.
Oh, good.
I do know that. That's probably, I'm just saying that's probably why.
Always on the same page. Let's play this clip.
Saying that I was ignoring you, but we already handled this. It was going to my spam folder because we didn't follow each other.
If anyone wants to hear all the clips of Ray DeVito ignoring me, we have those all very well broken down and talked about on episode 40, and we'll probably talk a little about that later in the show. There's Delicious. He's just popping in here.
Delicious.
Lastly, and I didn't want to play any of this on the show here, but I did notice that friend of the show, Austin Ingalls. Are you familiar with Austin Ingalls?
The name sounds
ice guy?
familiar.
A lot of people are
Listen
familiar.
listen to Ray DeVito lie. The name sounds familiar. Where would you have heard it, Ray? Maybe he is a fan of the show.
Why do comics do that?
Oh yeah, Austin Ingalls. I think I saw him on Two Bears.
He's the guy with the real loud coffee.
Yeah, he shakes his ice into the microphone. That's what you know him from, Ray.
Mike
He's like, oh yeah, Ray's like the one piece of media I've listened to is Daniel Tosh, People Pleaser. Why are you laughing? So yes, I'm a big fan of Austin Ingalls.
The name sounds familiar.
A lot of people are familiar with him, and if you're a fan of Blind Mike Project, he has appeared on that show as well. But friend of David Collins' 30-minute hour show, Austin Ingalls, I noticed on his YouTube channel.
Every time he's mentioned you, David just turns and stares at the camera. It's very funny.
He's been putting out some shorts. He's doing some impressions now, and I love a good impression. We're not going to play any of those on the show there, but check out Austin Ingalls' YouTube channel for some great impressions.
And something about the name Blind Mike, because there's two Blind. One of the producers.
Right. Well, I actually talked with Blind Mike yesterday. It turns out he prefers Mike.
Oh, he does?
I'll tell you exactly what happened. He called me and he goes, "Hello, Blind Mike." And I said, "Hello, David." And he said, "It feels weird calling you Blind Mike. Should I call you Blind Mike? Blind Mike Geary? What do you prefer?" And I said, "Mike is fine." He's making it seem like I'm like, "David, come on, knock it off."
I knew it was weird. I went to put your number when you initially gave it to me. I typed the B and I went, I'm not doing that. I just put Mike.
I don't think that's that strange. That would make sense if that's how you had me in your phone. I wouldn't find that unusual.
I just couldn't do it. I don't think I've ever been like, hey, boy.
Because we're so close.
We're just thick as thieves, the two of us.
Just brothers. You've always been Mike to me. I really appreciate that,
That's
man.
right. 4 years strong, buddy.
Thanks.
It's digital.
At least
Blind
between
Mike.
me and you, I don't know that Blind Mike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
never
There's a
met
producer
gay Blind
at
Mike.
Guest Digital in New York City named Blind Mike. He actually helps me out with a lot of stuff. So when I always hear
That's
producer
interesting.
Blind Mike, I just assume it's the same.
Well, no, good news, right? No one said that.
Producer Blind Mike.
no one's ever called me that. So bye-bye confusion, I suppose. Your slate's been wiped clean. Whenever I hear producer, you didn't hear that. You don't hear it for him either, by the way. No one calls him producer gay Blind Mike.
Ray DeVito does.
Gay Blind Mike is enough of a signifier. You're not like, who?
That's the reason he's called Gay Blind Mike is because of you.
That's true, actually, because KFC happened to be. Thank God KFC was. I don't think KFC for a lot. He struck our video.
Yes, he did.
But thank God he happened to be on that episode because he alerted them to the fact that there already is a Blind Mike. So I guess we'll just sit here in silence. What's happening? Oh boy. What do I do here? Am I running the show or do I have to leave and come back? What happens?
I don't know what the hell that was.
Was I gone or you?
I got kicked out.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're back.
Hey.
roughly the same amount was added in your absence.
It's hurtful, I think.
Let's play the next clip, I guess.
It's still the same one.
Ah, Jesus, Ray, wrap it up.
Yeah, he's got to talk the differences between blind mics.
Blind mic, but there's two blind mics. Something about if you're going to be a mic and a producer in podcasting, blind mics, the name to go with.
You know, there's actually a third one too.
Is this
a great show planned for you today?
blind mics?
You know, when you're a producer, blind mic's the name.
It doesn't even make sense.
No.
Ray's just looking for things to say. Ray doesn't have a thought in his head.
No,
So
he
he's just
doesn't.
looking for things to say.
Three
He starts singing
blind
three
mics.
blind mics.
Didn't somebody else sing that too?
I'm sure.
See
Great
how
games.
they produce. See how they produce.
But before we get into that, of course, everybody's favorite color of the day.
I'm
It's important to get to color. These two really do have good chemistry.
Yeah. Ray says something and David just plows over it and ignores it.
Yeah, I don't know why Ray put David's episode behind a paywall. You have to become a member to watch David Collins on Ray's show.
We're about to hear him explain that.
Oh, good.
Reasonably. And I even appeared on your show this week, which was interesting. Unfortunately, you're not able to find that episode, which I find fascinating.
well, it's behind a paywall.
Why do you do that? And how do you decide which shows? What about me deserves behind a paywall?
Oh, no, I should mention, by the way. Listen, you hear the way David's talking. He's setting things up. He's going to different segments. He mentioned color of the day already. He introduced Ray twice. We're now 12 minutes into the podcast. So hear how zeroed in Ray is to his appearance here.
Share that with some of my audience and some of my fans. I was actually looking to pull some
that's why I
clips
gave
from
you
that
the
show.
unlisted version. Cut it up. Do what you want with it.
Oh,
have fun.
As of this morning, it was listed.
Yeah, it's unlocked, so you can access it. People, yeah, you can access it.
It says
Are
I
we
need to
on
be
air?
a
Are we part of
member
this?
of the show.
Yeah, no, it's on my members only thing, but I put it for you. I unlisted so you could have access to it.
And I lost access this morning.
No, it's back to unlisted.
Okay.
It's,
So you do a little back and
yeah.
forth there. That's
Is
interesting.
this part of the show? Are we doing the show?
Well, I'm asking you about this.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this is a show. I don't know.
We also record David Collins' 3.5-hour reality show.
All right.
Something happening tonight.
He's like
too.
Larry Sanders. It's a show
Stand-up
within the
comedy
show.
tonight. And I want to ask you about your stand-up comedy here. Actually, I know
They do need to continue.
It's really not like Larry Sanders' show at all. You're on the show. It's like if Larry Sanders' show was only the talk show.
My dad was in the military.
It's just two autistic guys talking at each other. That's not to accuse David of anything. I'm just saying,
The other guy that was sitting in there.
I meant just Ray, I guess.
You're
So go check out David Collins' 0-minute half-hour show and help him find that pesky 3 that he's been searching for.
That's right.
I suspect the first show in November they may find it.
They might, yeah.
So keep your fingers crossed.
We got some super chats here.
All right, let's get to those.
Dawn fried chicken, as we learned during Q's Day.
What's up, buddy?
$5. Craig, please stop trying to read my daughter Lolita before nap time when you babysit her.
Well, if I could say, you're having Craig babysit, Who's really at fault here?
It's on you, buddy.
Yeah, we've been very upfront about his proclivities. It's kind of on you.
Dominic, $2. Blind Mike Geary. Woo!
Thank you, buddy. Don't dox me, please.
That's true. Milk John's mom, $1 super sticker. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
Chad's missing upper lip, $5. Time to rally around P. Diddy, right, Craigers? Craigophiles unite.
Craig, it's interesting how different forms of art are viewed differently because Craig looks at what P. Diddy did and says that's amateur shit because it was all adults,
I don't believe so.
Craig says, well, people don't get it. Diddy gets all this credit. What I did was so much more vile and monstrous. Really, just such more savage behavior from Craig, and Diddy's in the news every day,
That's right. Reverend Shitstained Powerful
That's
Pooper.
right.
I was just coughing and I had to mute
All right.
myself, so I came back at the perfect time. That's right, Mike. Let's turn to Billboard chart guy.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Reverend Shitstain Powerful Pooper, $2. Thanks for not abandoning us like that F slur, Carl.
Yeah, he was. By the way, Carl, what's Carl taking Woke Dad on a nationwide tour? All of a sudden, he's doing who are these podcasts live, and he's like, now for our next segment, like we always do here on Who Are These Podcasts? Here's Daniel Alexander. And I was like, what the fuck? He's like, Drew, you and me discovered this guy all on our own.
Yeah.
Sitting here with Casey Day. Who are these socials? Trying to keep the lights on here, for God's sake.
Port Film Co-op, $5. I'm a B-Shop fan, 100%. Underrated. Great podcaster. He was bullied out of stand-up by mostly mediocre people. He just lacks irony because he's sincere.
We'll get to him. He is a very sincere guy. I'm gonna need some lines filled in here for me because I don't necessarily know the world of UFC that well. So hopefully Craig can help me out. But we will get to Brendan Schaub in a moment.
Brian, $5. Good morning. Just keeping tabs on Craig. When the show wraps up, I know it's time to lock my kids away as Craig is back on the prowl.
No, see, that's smart. The guy that's hiring you is bringing the predator into his home.
That's just not true.
Oh, but can I tell you something great? Me and Casey Day the other night doing Who Are These Socials? Blind Mike crossover, whatever you want to call it. We talked about Steel Toe versus Patrick Melton. And I was like, guys, you shouldn't be suing each other. Like he's calling you a pedophile and you're calling him this and that. Like there's no lawsuits necessary. This is jokes on the internet. And we got a comment from someone who I assume doesn't watch the channel who said, well, if someone was going on every day and calling you a pedophile, what would you do about it? And I was like, I guess it's not for me directly, but someone on this account could comment.
Oh, let me tell you, it was one self-inflicted, and two, it's just the funnest. That's what I get for sharing.
Yeah. Look, Craig wears his demons on his shirt sleeve.
Pat Ford, $5. Good morning, gearheads, Craigophiles, and Rob Sodomites. God damn it. Justice for Clay Dabbler. Shuli is sneaky the worst. Mike's the king of the Dabbleverse. He needs so much help, dude.
Yeah, Patrick Ford needs the poor guy.
He needs help.
He's gone. The new kid he has is not getting any attention.
I know. It's like Rob Saul's uncle, dude.
Tell the kid to stop crying. Rob Saul's talking about his aunt and how he doesn't fuck her.
Port Film Co-op, $2. Craigophiles rise up.
It's important.
Yep.
They do. It's important they brand themselves because they do already have to go to their neighbors' houses and introduce themselves.
Remember the Craigophile shirt we had mocked up and we're like, we can't sell this.
That was me. That was a rare moment where I actually thought of you. I was like, I'm not going to put this on a shirt.
It would just have to say Craigophile and that's it. Not my face in a mugshot.
Right.
Diablo Sandwich, $5. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing us that he didn't exist. Friends and family of Ray DeVito.
Maybe Ray was never here.
Dang Lizard, €5. David Collins interviewing Ray DeVito has the timing of a pre-taped call-in show. Is David Collins going to interview himself and cut it together next?
I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but David on Ray DeVito's show was just as interesting. Because it's David takes off the interviewer hat and is sort of mystified at how unprofessional Ray is. So I highly recommend you go check it out if you can.
Red 473, $2. Carl is a talking svoot for lol cows.
Talking what?
Carl is TALKET SVOUT for lol cows.
Oh, I'm sure you just spelled some awful offensive term that we're not aware of.
To be fair, I said it right before, so maybe you got me, sir.
Very good.
Zom 247, £2. Love you, love the show. Why weren't you in Detroit?
Wasn't invited. Told me no handicaps allowed. They said. They said, Mike, why don't you stay here? We're gonna take Daniel Alexander to Detroit. You stay right there, buddy, and do your little show.
No, you can't do it on this profile.
No, you can't do it where everyone knows it's usually live. Well, I tell them it's on your channel. Why would I?
Port Film Co-op.
Retweet it even if you tag me. Ridiculous.
I didn't see it. I swear. Port Film Co-op, $2. Craigophiles can now join Crambler. And rounding out the super chats for now.
Try to glosses over that so we don't look too far into it.
Box eating dad, $2. Carl is a gay guy.
Well, that's been confirmed.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to Stuttering John later in the. Stuttering John had one of his worst shows yet. It was truly colossal what he was able to do on Friday. So we'll get to that. But I do want to get to this Brendan Schaub business, shall we?
We shall.
So you got to tell me, first and foremost, is there any chance if Brendan Schaub and Nate Diaz were to fight, what does that look like? Because I don't know UFC. I know Nate Diaz, very famous for fighting, whereas Brendan Schaub, I know he did well in the UFC. He was in the top 10 or 11 at one point.
Yep.
But like it didn't reach the heights that Nate Diaz had. So would it be possible if they were to fight that would be close?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, he was a top 10 heavyweight. Nate Diaz fights at between 150 and 170.
Oh, so Brendan Schaub has 100 pounds on him.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, that's it. Okay, that does add to this. I'm glad you pinned this picture for me, because Brendan Schaub. So I guess Schaub cried because of Shane Carwin. I guess they're close. But here's where it gets interesting, because someone sent me a video. I believe our boy Jeremy Wright was on top of this. He's our Ty Rivera correspondent, but he was good on this as well. And he's sending me all these videos where someone was breaking down. So Brendan Schaub calls Shane Carwin a brother. I guess Shane Carwin has said like they've kind of lost touch over the years.
Of course. That makes more sense.
So fucking everything Brendan Schaub brings up, the internet is so, to be fair, they watch this guy like a hawk. You know what I mean? So I'm sure some things are spun out of proportion and all kinds of stuff. But every time Brendan Schaub speaks, the Fighter and the Kid subreddit is able to be like, well, no. You're lying again. God damn it.
These fucking people in the chat are like, Brendan Schaub was a top 10 when it was like the worst the heavyweights ever been. He was still fucking there, guys. Relax.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know enough to know. Like, I assume, based on the fact that he's 100 pounds more, I imagine he'd have a decent chance against Nate Diaz.
He has a decent chance. He hits harder. Nate Diaz gets him on the ground. He's going to kill him.
Oh, well, that comes up here. That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Then Brendan might be a little delusional.
Okay. He will kill him if it's on the ground. He only has a shot if it's standing up.
That's interesting you say that, because literally I know nothing about fighting, but you poked into the one thing that I am aware of that he talks about.
Okay.
So that's interesting. We'll get to that. But yeah, the boys at PF Chang's, I feel like they don't even like their job anymore, where they're like obligated. They're like, the guy just keeps lying. They're like, I'm just tired of chasing him at this point, but we have to. So Nate Diaz tweeted about Brendan Schaub crying over Shane Carwin. I guess Shane's dealing with, based on the video I watched of Brendan, I guess he has some addiction issues and he's having a lot of issues with CTE. And Brendan made a video breaking down about this guy's health. Now,
maybe that's why Shane Carwin doesn't think they've spoken.
Yeah, right. He just, who's this guy?
He just forgot.
So that could be viewed two ways, because remember, we played a video of Brendan Schaub crying about his daughter being sick. And I think you at the time were like, well, we can't even, it's hard to even make fun of this. And I did point out, I was like, he turned the phone on.
In the waiting room, it looked like. You were right in retrospect.
He put the phone on. He went to his camera. He flipped it around. He put the video on. Like, he chose to do this mid-cry. He could have waited. He could have collected himself and made the video. He chose to show us how emotional he was. So that is a factor with Brendan Schaub. It's like, Brendan Schaub might say, like, oh, you can't be a human being and have emotions. Of course you can. But you can also choose to You can tell us later, hey, I had a breakdown over this, or you can show us in hopes that we sympathize with you. And I do think that's a big difference. It's like a lot of people have been shitting on Bert Kreischer lately for posting videos like, or he'll post a picture like, just dropped my daughter off at school, and it's a picture of him like wiping the tears out of his eyes.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you took the picture. You had the presence of mind to take the photograph or the video, you know?
And I do want to say, before we get too far into this, if they are fighting and I'm putting money on someone, I am putting it on Nate Diaz.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident in the bet, but Schaub definitely.
I'm glad you clarified so people respect the UFC podcast we do. One day.
I was like, I am never, never. But
Craig completely caved to the chat, by the way. You remember a minute ago when he was like, fucking Brendan Schaub is one of the top 3 fighters ever. The chat gives him a minute of shit, and he's like, guys, I said Brendan Schaub's gay and Nate Diaz would win. What are you talking about?
Nate Diaz, what he sucks at is blocking punches from hitting his face. So you guys got 100 pounds on him.
Well,
he's gonna get
save your fight analysis for when Brendan Schaub speaks, because he makes some interesting points that I'd like to see what everyone thinks about him. But basically, Nate Diaz, after Brendan Schaub cried over Shane Carwin, Nate Diaz tweeted out something like, what a queer. I'm paraphrasing, but basically he mocked Brendan Schaub for being a little girl and crying. He has another great tweet that I'll reference when we're done with this. But Nate Diaz giving Brendan shit online. And this is where, like, I don't really blame Brendan. There are people that I do blame, like when a guy like Stuttering John is like, "Oh, you've been making fun of me. Well, then why don't we box?" It's like, well, because I don't know, you're all comedians. With Brendan, who literally could rip all of our heads off,
for sure.
Sometimes it's like, hey man, yeah, why don't you just threaten us? That is probably the best route to take. It's the path of least resistance, you know.
The only way, like, I know Legion of Skanks is like the 3 of us couldn't take him. Like the only option like they would have is to throw Dave Smith at him and trip him somehow.
Right, all 3 of them, they like little rascals him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is probably Brendan Schaub's best course, is to just be like, well, then I'll fight you. But it's interesting when that comes up with an actual UFC legend, Nate Diaz. So let's see how Brendan maturely handles, as a comedian would, this ribbing tweet that Nate Diaz sent out.
He tweets out, I think on Friday, driving my son to baseball practice, and a buddy or maybe my brother was like, "Oh God, here goes Nate Diaz again." I'm like, "What? For what?" What? He put Brendan the big old pussy.
This is a thing, and you guys know I'm more lenient with Brendan than most people are. I try to give the guy the benefit. I'm a thick boy, you know? I try to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. But this is a thing Brendan does where he's like, there's no reason to tell us you're driving your son to practice.
Also, the chat is pointing this out, and I forgot this happened. Nate Diaz called him a bitch to his face, and he didn't do a thing.
Well, that comes up also.
Oh, does it? Okay.
So that's very interesting. But Brendan, that's a tactic that I think guys like Brendan use, where it's like, hey, I was just living my life being a dad, man. Ain't got no care in the world except raising my son. And then this gets dropped on my tape. Then people force me to react to this. It's like, well, you read it. You just read it. Like that. That's your job, Brendan, by the way, to know what's going on in your world. Like, that's part of your job. You don't have to make excuses and be like, guys, I don't even give a fuck about any of this. And then people forced me to read it.
A crying emoji. Okay. And this, I assume, and most people tell me that it's in response to me getting emotional over my friend of 20 years who I owe most of my UFC career to, because he paid for me when I couldn't afford the gym, couldn't afford private lessons, and we came up together. He became interim heavyweight champ. I became top 10 in the world, and we both started when he had 1 fight, I had none. So he's experiencing some of the worst side effects of dedicating his life to mixed martial arts. So me getting emotional about that, I guess that makes me a big old pussy. Which is weird.
Brendan, I do gotta say, like, you're a comic. Like, if Craig just referenced the Legion of Skanks. I remember Big J. Okerson was on some podcast, and they talked about Dice and his relationship with Dice, and Big J cried. They mocked him mercilessly after that. Like, that's what happens. If you cry, believe me, I know. If you cry in a podcast, you get made fun of. Whether or not the reason is legitimate, there's something about a man crying that sounds very silly, you know? So even if it's for a good reason, like, you can be made fun of for crying. That's kind of just what happens. You have to. So if you are a comedian, Brendan, this is where, like, this rant is great from a UFC analyst. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if this is just a guy that he pops on ESPN sometimes, or he's on Rogan, the Fight Companions on Rogan, and you just know him as a UFC guy, this is a good rant that Brendan goes on here. The problem is, Brendan has masqueraded as a comedian for the last... He's like, hey, I'm just one of the guys. You can rib me, baby. You can make fun of me for anything. Oh, yeah? Well, how about you crying in that video? I'll rip your fucking head off!
He's got all the confidence in the world because fucking Rogan's last special sucked.
Can you imagine if fucking, I don't know, if Theo Vaughn cried on a podcast and they made fun of him and his response was, well, man, I guess I'll have to fight you in the street. It's like, what? No, like, people make fun of you for shit. What are you talking about?
Huh? Especially for crying. Like, come on.
Right, it's a mockable thing. And I get you were crying for good reason. But, you know, maybe they have bad blood already, him and Nate, so he knows it's not coming from a good place. But
yeah, no, they have bad blood.
yeah, so I guess he knows the tone it was said with, you know?
Right.
But still, you got to be a little more lighthearted when you cry on camera.
I don't get it. It's this whole, how honest do I want to be with you guys? This whole social media thing, like Brenton didn't even tag me, Brenton the big old pussy Schaub, crying emoji. Here's how I feel about it. This is just internet gossip, right? This gets him trending. He doesn't have a lot going on. Didn't get paid for the Masvidal fight. Probably doesn't know what he's going to do next.
Now, I got to ask a UFC-related question here.
Mm-hmm.
That struck me as odd because I don't follow this stuff, and I know who Nate Diaz is. Would you say Nate Diaz is a guy that doesn't have a lot going on?
He's like one of the bigger fan favorites of all time.
That's what I mean. Like, is he struggling somehow? I don't know. That struck me as strange, and it seems like another defense tactic Brendan uses, where he's like, "Who even is this guy?" You know,
like he probably didn't make all that much money, you know, in comparison to what people are doing now, because he was never really the top of the card until the end. He was always really good and like a tough guy, but I don't know how he didn't get paid for a fight. Maybe not the amount he wanted, but he definitely got paid for it.
That's what these are not the early days of UFC where you gotta hassle Dana White for a paycheck.
He's probably waiting on that. Connor's tied up with the TV right deal, so he's probably banking on that. He fought Masvidal, lost to Jake Paul, right? That's a big blow to his ego. So I guess
he did lose to Jake Paul.
He did lose to Jake Paul.
To stay current.
I always think that shit's staged, though. Am I crazy?
No,
no,
I don't think so. He's fighting,
just beating these career fighters.
Yeah, but they're not career boxers, and they're like 20 years older than him.
Okay, and
he does hit hard. I think it was Tyron Woodley. He like really fucked up.
Okay,
and it was kind of surprising. Yeah,
retired 15 years ago, man. That being said, that's social media. This isn't real. Because here's what's real. I will fuck you up. That's real. I'm not asking for this. I don't want to fuck him up. I'm not trying to fuck him up. End of the day, if he walked in right now, I said, Chin, Case, can you guys leave? Only one of us is going to walk out unscathed.
Now you just can't leave.
And it's me.
Okay, so if he's in a room full of stuff, he has no shot.
Really?
Yeah. No, dude, like Nate Diaz will wrap him into a pretzel in 4 seconds.
Okay, well, he's saying that I'll make everyone leave and lock the doors.
The best chance he's got is in a cage where he can't trip on something with his gigantic legs.
So this is where I'm in a bit of a pretzel myself. Like, I like the response from Brendan. I like where it's like, hey man, fuck you. And now I would say you kind of have to put your money where your mouth is. And if Nate Diaz says okay, then you have to fight him. But Like I like the fire from Brendan. I like the energy. And when I hear this, I'm like, you should be in this world. You should be doing this type of stuff. The problem is Brendan was like, I'm a comedian. I'm one of the guys. Hey, Callan busts my chops and Chris D'Elia busts my chops. But if anyone else does it, you're like, I'm going to fight you. That's what's interesting to me. Is like, did Nate Diaz cross a line? You know, he didn't talk about your he made fun of a video where you cried. Like, that doesn't seem to warrant this type of response. Again, they already have bad blood. I get it. But like I said, I like if I'm hearing Brendan for the first time in this video, I'm like, oh, I like this guy. The problem is I know who he is, you know?
Every fucking day of the week, 365 days a year, I will snap his fucking neck. No. I know. What's his fucking area code? 209? I know, 209. I get all that. Very cool. None of that is real.
Well, it is. That is. I do have to say, Brendan, just so you know, that is an actual area code.
Dana White hates Brendan Schaub so much he might sanction this.
He is from that section of the country, Brendan. Those are the first 3 numbers of his telephone.
Against Donald Cerrone. Did you see him? Leon Edwards. I get it. Dude, he's had some great fights. Tough dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm 245 pounds, trained black belt, top 10 UFC heavyweight in the world at one point. I'm not out of shape. I'm a fucking beast when it comes down to, I know, I tell jokes, I do crazy shit.
Okay, here's where he loses me again. Mm-hmm. I know you guys are thinking, but Brendan, you're so hilarious. You guys are thinking, a comedy legend like you, Brendan? Listen, I love George Carlin and I love Stephen Wright, but they're not getting in the ring, Brendan. You're made to make us laugh. Right. No. Everyone's been saying you should have stuck to the UFC world. You shouldn't have tried to dip your toe. He's like, you guys probably think I'm too funny to be tough.
He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu too, but Nate Diaz is just the top of that, and he's probably keeping himself in fight shape.
Yeah, it's the 100-pound difference or whatever it is interesting to me, because I just don't know how that a novice like me would assume Brendan would win that. But
he got knocked out by Nogueira. He's into trucks. I get all that. Firing the kids.
He's into trucks. No one's like, there is no way. I'll tell you one thing about.
Oh my God, that's Brendan Schaub from Toontown.
I'll tell you one thing about Nate Diaz. He ain't losing a fight to some truck-loving comedian. A guy who likes sedans, that's fine. But some pussy that's into trucks, I don't think so. Not on my watch.
At the end of the day, the way this works, I'm not a civilian like the rest of his goons around him. I'm not this fake gangster. I don't go looking for fights. I know I'm tough. I don't have to get on.
I wouldn't say Nate Diaz is fake anything. just for the record.
Bitter and blast it out and prove it every day because I'm insecure because whatever shit he has going on with his childhood trauma. I don't have to do that. At the end of the day, I will twist your fucking neck off. Ask your boys. There's many of guys that you fucks with that I've rolled with. Ask them how it went.
So again, knowing nothing, I'm like, oh, this guy's pretty confident.
Oh no, dude, he has more than like a puncher's chance.
Right. I would like to see that. Maybe Jake Paul could set this up, right? Like the thing that they do, whatever that's called.
Yeah, but Schaub won't do it.
Well, that's the problem. He's guaranteeing he would.
Right, because he knows it can't happen.
So I say, Brendan, you kind of have to do it. So if Nate Diaz accepts, you have to do it. I know we have another clip or two to play, but can I tell you what Nate's response was to this rant?
Yeah, man, set it up. I'll fuck you up.
He tweeted out, I think you'd be surprised. Which is the obvious, I would have made that joke talking about this if Nate didn't. Like, that feels like the obvious response. When Brendan is talking about fighting someone, there is now like a canned response that Joe Rogan created. I think you'd be surprised.
Nope, that was what's his face?
Oh right, it was Brian Callen.
Callen.
As we heard in the special, and it was the Chinese doctor.
That's right, Mr. Schaub.
Oh, The guy speaks better English than us.
Brendan, your knee is not looking very good. That's not what he sounds like. Your brain be mushy peas.
Yeah. So the guy bows to me and hits his gong, and he says, he told me,
very dishonorable.
This doctor told me I'd never be able to walk again. And I said, really? And he said, well, as you know, we play joke. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch You'd Be Surprised on Showtime.
Oddly enough, the peak of his comedy career, too.
Absolutely. Well, no, I take that back. Gringo Poppy.
It was the peak of his comedy career that he wants to accept.
Oh, yes, absolutely, definitely.
Sorry, I didn't specify.
Yeah.
Next, we have Losing Steam.
Yeah, so Brendan's on this rant, and he's going good. And then he starts saying something. It's almost the opposite of Will Ferrell in Old School. Where, you know what I mean? Like, he goes on this rant, he doesn't know what he said, he blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan's got this rant going, and then it's almost like the magic potion wore off, and he starts sounding like Brendan Schaub.
What are you going to do, Nate? What are you going to do? Volume punch me, motherfucker?
No.
That's what you're going to do? What are you going to do? Out grapple me?
Yes.
In what fucking sense?
Okay, so this is where he's saying, if it comes to grappling, that's why I was surprised when you said that. He said, if it comes to grappling, Nate doesn't stand a chance.
No, that's not even. Nope.
Okay. Well,
Nope. Like, if they did a boxing match, I would probably put money on Schaub.
okay.
Because
That's interesting, because he literally wants to go the other route.
Nate doesn't seem to be able to knock anyone out ever, but he takes punches like Homer Simpson.
Okay.
He's a brick shithouse or whatever.
Yeah.
He just doesn't go down. So once they eventually do get on the ground, he'll choke everybody out. That's how it goes.
So you hear Brendan getting pretty hot under the collar there, and I like this fire. What are you going to do, motherfucker? I like that. I'm like, all right, get him, Brendan. And then he starts sounding a little too much like Brendan Schaub here.
What world are you living in? This is the real world. Now, if you're doing this because you fancy yourself a fisticuffs, if you fancy yourself,
No.
you grapple me.
No. That's not the... I was going to say it's not the phrase. It's not anything. It's not a sentence.
You fancy yourself a fisticuffs?
I was hoping you'd react like that, because I was like, is there a phrase in fighting that I'm not aware of or something?
You fancy yourself a fighter, a grappler?
If you fancy yourself a fisticuffs. Yeah, that's where I was like, oh, Brendan.
Nope, that was terribly wrong.
Got ahead of your skis there, buddy.
If
If you fancy yourself a melee. Well, Mr. Diaz, if you think of yourself as a brouhaha.
You fancy yourself as a Donnybrook?
Well, if it isn't Mr. Skirmish.
Shout out Donnybrook.
That was a good one. I liked it.
Because you fancy yourself a fisticuffs. If you fancy yourself, you want to actually grapple me.
Oh,
Okay, he tried it a second time, and then he was like, I don't think I'm using this correctly. If you fancy yourself, well, whatever. If you want to grapple with me, I guess is what I'm saying.
ooh, I would love to see that.
When he says that, I'm thinking like in Brendan's mind, it's just like the Notre Dame logo, like the guy with his dukes up. Like if you fancy yourself a fisticuffs.
That's the thing is like, it's really fun to shit on Brendan Schaub. This is the one thing you really can't. Like, he does know what he's doing.
Well, yes, but then it seems to me you're saying he picked out the one area of Nate Diaz's game that he would massacre him.
He is so good at jujitsu.
Well, let's hear him talk grappling.
Not hard to get a hold of. Pull the fuck up.
That was the end of that clip.
There's another one, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear that, because he gets a little more in depth with specifics.
This is a tough guy.
He is a tough guy, as you hear here. So that's what I want to know, is if Brendan Schaub can back this up, because now I'd love to see this. This is a fight I would give a fuck about. Usually I don't care.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I hope you go on to make more money than God, dude. But what you're not going to do is pretend you're a tough guy. I know tough guys. You're not one of them, Nate.
Oh, shut
Well, now
up.
hold on. I gotta say, Bren, maybe by UFC standards or whatever, I gotta say, if I see Nate Diaz in the street and he bumps into me, if he bumps into me, pushes me, insults my girlfriend, I'm saying, yes, sir, right away. Very good.
Dude, he's like one of the tougher guys. That's how he like lasts in fights, because he just takes damage.
Yeah. Brendan, the people you're talking to on this podcast, we're not walking up to Nate Diaz and going, well, if it isn't the town pussy. If it isn't the coward of Arizona.
I don't think a single UFC fighter, even ones that are slated to fight Nate Diaz, have ever said that.
Oh, it's the little bitch, Nate Diaz.
Except for like maybe Conor McGregor, but he lost to him once, maybe twice. But, you know.
Yeah, and again, I get this is like, this would be what you do to hype up a fight, but you can't talk like this and then not fight the guy, you know?
That's true.
It's badass. You're not. You're no different than anybody else. You're a terrible fucking athlete.
I'd like to advocate for Nate Diaz. He's different than some of us.
Different than he's in the 1% of the 1% for sure.
There's some people he's different than, you know? Like if Brendan Schaub was talking to me like this, sure, I'd be shitting my pants. But Nate Diaz comes out with a good zinger. the perfect dig. I think you'd be surprised.
All good, dude. You're a tough guy from Sacramento. Where I come from, you're not
Sacramento,
a tough
that's
guy.
where he's from. The coward of Sacramento.
Tough's not making fun of somebody because they get emotional about their friend having major fucking side effects for dedicating their lives to MMA.
No, tough.
Brendan, I agree.
Feelings.
But as a human being, I agree with that. But have you not learned, Brendan, in 10 years of comedy or whatever it's been now, maybe more than that, have you not learned that this is the wrong response? To like someone makes fun of you and you reply seriously and go, hey, well, what's wrong with a little emotion?
Brendan Schaub, the fucking pussy.
Brendan, do you want me to answer literally? What's wrong with emotion? Nothing. It's fine. You can cry when your boy is going through something. Perfectly fine.
That emotion's not a problem. This one is gay.
Yeah, but when people make fun of you and say, "Ooh, Brendan's crying," you don't go, "No, I'm not. You're crying." Okay. I thought you were a comic.
Tough isn't getting on there and tweeting to people to get his fan base to bully him. Cyberbullying.
This is what a mom at a PTA meeting would say about bullying. Like, hey,
Tough is going to your daughter's dance recital and supporting her.
Being tough is crying once in a while. Being in touch with your emotions. That's what being a tough guy is. It's like, okay, Nana Schaub.
Being tough is when you're there for your parents in their twilight years. Shut up, Brendan.
Being tough is showing emotion. It's like, yeah, but if Nate Diaz beat you in a fight, that would also be pretty tough, I guess.
Say anything in person. And again, if this pisses you off or you and I cross paths wherever it's at, you solo one-on-one, you're not going to do shit. That's the reality. The whole Stockton slab, I will fuck you up.
I love the confidence. It's just overconfident.
And it's longer than that. He goes on for about 20 minutes. And I looked at the comments. I was going to say, granted, it's on the Thick Boy channel, but like a lot of Brendan's audience fucks with him and trolls with him. The comments were like, hey, this is the Schaub I've been missing. This is the guy I like. So I like the bluster and the gusto, but like, is there anything to back it up, or are you just talking shit? Because what it is doing, if you can't back it up and don't plan on backing it up, what you are doing is proving you're definitely not a comedian. You know, you might be tougher than Nate Diaz. I have no idea. But it does kind of prove you're not really a comic. The guy just busted your balls a little bit.
If they do fight and he wins, that'd be fucking cool. I'd be all for it.
That would be the finally redemption for Brendan Schaub. That would be cool.
No.
So I would say to Brendan, do it or don't go on rants like this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good fight. I mean, like, he's got 100 pounds on him, but
the thing is, with the weight difference, could we get that sanctioned anywhere?
not in the UFC.
Rough and rowdy, baby. Bring it back.
Rough and rowdy.
Honestly, Portnoy should try to do that. If they want to restore Rough and Rowdy, could you imagine how many fucking pay-per-view buys that would be?
Oh my god. So many.
Portnoy, set it up. Nate Diaz versus Brendan Schaub. Let's start that rumor. Nate Diaz versus Brendan Schaub at Rough and Rowdy.
Rough and rowdy.
Yeah, that would be good for everyone. You restore Rough and Rowdy, you restore Brendan Schaub's reputation, you know?
Oh, give it to me. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah. All right, is that all we have from Brendan?
Yep.
All right, let's move on, shall we? What to now? Want to talk a little Chad Zumock?
Of course.
This is interesting. This is I liked what I was seeing here from Chad. Now, it could be bullshit, I have no idea, but I think too often something happens in the Dabbleverse, and if it's a guy we already shit on, then we just continue shitting on him. We look for an angle to be like, well, fuck you, man. Like, and a lot of people would see this and probably say like, well, Chad's lying, and he's just gonna lie again. Maybe, very possibly. He may have lied later in this episode, for all I know.
And before we even say another word, this is from Doom.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. This is from Doom. Very
Doom.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Doom.
I had a chat with Doom. I said, just so you know, we're not. If I ever forget to mention you, we're not fucking with you. We're not doing it intentionally. He seems like a good guy. I think he's in on the joke, so I like
Dude,
Doom.
He had 14 accounts spam chatting us once because we didn't say it was Doom.
Oh, he said. By the way, he said like something was not necessarily him. I don't know what was going on. But,
Okay.
Yeah, he did mention that to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I like Doom. So go subscribe to Doom because he puts out clips like this. I wouldn't have seen this. I don't watch Chad's program, so I wouldn't have seen this if Doom didn't put it out there. But I think too often, like, you see something like this from Chad, and you're like, well, but still, fuck him. No. I'm here to say, like, good for Chad. Now, did he lie 5 minutes after this? I have no idea. It's very possible. But it's Chad owning up to something, finally. You could argue it's a little late, perhaps. It's like everyone's like, oh, okay, Chad, sure, you got beat up by Kumia fans and who said this is MAGA country.
Mm-hmm.
We all really believe you, Chad. And then
Kumia country, which is even less believable.
A year and a half later, Chad's like, guys, you're not going to want to hear this. I was lying. What?
I think it's true. Like I even said, like in real time, I was like, it looks like he actually got punched in the face, but there's no way this story's true.
So he's gonna explain it here, and credit to Chad for finally owning it. Again, it took literally everyone knowing it was a lie, but he confesses to something here.
I got a confession to make here. I got a confession to make about Kumia and Kumia's country. And I never said this before. Since we're having a moment, it's Friday fun. So a lot of people always wonder what really happened and how it went down and all that. I'm being 100% honest. I got punched in the face. That happened. I know people are like, oh, he fell down in Greece or he was stealing catalytic converters. Got it. Whatever. That's fine. Didn't happen.
I like Chad being like, none of them knew exactly how I was lying, these idiots. Oh, all these people that didn't know which lie I was going to pick. Oh, Chad.
People say that because it didn't happen. But I was fucked up. I was a little drunk, came home that night, tried to sleep. And then I looked in the mirror. My eye was all swollen. I had dirt on my face. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And I was angry. I was just fucking angry. Because I was angry not just at that, but everything that was going on. At the time, that pile-on. I was really
angry at society, man. So what is this world we live in?
I hate it, man.
Goth Chad. What's even the point of waking up in the morning?
Hawthorne Heights, Chad.
Jumped on that pile-on with Carl because he got barking orders from Chrissy and everybody. And I was like, dude, You're supposed to be.
Does Carl take his orders from Chrissy? I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that either.
Did Chrissy make him steal Daniel Alexander from me?
I thought he listens to the shit whale.
I realized Anthony Cumia is nothing more than a piece of shit scumbag like all these fuckers. It doesn't matter if he was on O&A or if he's friends with Joe Rogan or I go, you're just a piece of shit. You lied to me. You said I was.
All right, it's been long enough. That episode of Rogan with Cumia is just never coming out.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what happened with that.
Great on your show. You loved having me. And then you're talking shit about me. Just being vicious. And you were like being the ringleader. You went from just, taking some jokes and stabs to like, really, let's get this guy. Amping up Carl to come after me. And I was like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. So within that second, I said,
So I lied about him committing a fraud.
I'll show you. I'll put this liar to shame.
blame this on Cumia's fans. And I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know how big it was going to get. I had no clue. But
well, let's relax a little.
I lied.
It's Bruder film, Chad. Let's take it easy.
He's a real Kubrick, this guy.
I didn't know the heights that I would reach. I didn't realize at times I might have 2,000 fans in my live stream. I didn't realize I could reach that rarefied air. This is like that's where you expect to see a montage of Chad on like Kimmel and Fallon, and he's on like Good Morning America.
Yeah.
He's like doing the media rounds, telling this Anthony Cumia story.
They're like, "Oh my god."
I had no idea how big it would be. And then it cuts to like Matt Damon playing Chad in a movie.
Yeah.
They think I was stealing catalytic converters.
No, Catalytic.
About it from Big J to Sam, Jim and Sam, everybody.
All the stars.
Oh, shit. This is getting out of control. I knew eventually I'd have to come clean. Melton really hitched his wagon to that, trying to.
He's like, fuck, I'm going to have to eventually come clean. How about when no one's talking about it or even thinking about it?
The world has forgotten about it entirely.
My reaction to this was, oh, yeah.
I forgot he did that.
Yeah.
It is funny. He's like, just everyone's moved on with their day. Chad walks in and he's like, guys, you're not going to believe this. I'm like, huh? I lied about the Anthony Cumia thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. Whatever.
We know.
That's fine. But we'll get to a thing. Like I think it's big of Chad to do this. We'll get to it. Now he has to stick to it, but we'll get to his overall point here.
Make a name for himself and getting involved with that. By the way, he knew nothing the whole time. So I came clean with it because my whole thing was the problem with these guys. I see all the lying they're doing, and I was like, I don't want to be these people. I don't want to be these people. So what I tried to do, and I hope I'm doing it, and I try hard. I want to be the voice of reason. I want to be the voice of truth, good or bad. Even if the truth, you don't like it, the narrative or whatever that is, or I'll take negative criticism if I tell the truth. And I'm hoping I can build trust with my audience by doing that because everyone's lying. Melton, Carl, everybody's lying. And I'm like, I'll be honest with the audience.
What is Carl lying about?
Being straight.
Well, yeah. Okay.
His life is a lie. What do you mean?
Cumia country. Carl likes pussy.
All the big lies.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll see that eventually. And guess what? That's happening. So I appreciate it. And I'm going to continue to be as honest as I can. I'm going to call out these motherfuckers for what they are.
I like Chad. I like Chad's come to Jesus moment where he's like, hey, I should stop telling completely made up stories. Then maybe, hold on here, maybe people will trust me if I start telling the truth.
I do like how he's like, I just, I had this moment where I realized these people on these internet shows lying is fucking annoying.
And then Chad, like, it feels like a moment where Chad is like saying this, like he's watching Patrick Melton or Carl or whoever thinks is lying, and then he's like, "Boy, these guys are lying a lot." And then he happens to catch himself in a mirror, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm one of them."
There's a shadow from the windowsill covering one of his eyes, so it looks black again, and he remembers.
My God, I've been lying the whole time. Yes, this is Chad running into the streets like Ebenezer Scrooge, realizing the meaning of Christmas.
He's got one of those sleep caps on. He's like,
what day is it? There's still time.
At serious hypocrisy, because Stuttering John lies like a motherfucker.
Duh.
He's always calling out hypocrisy. Well, he's the biggest liar out of all of them. So
there you go, Chad.
He's just realizing everything.
Chad, you're getting it, buddy. Yes, it's weird to make up stories for attention. There you go.
You know what? That Stuttering John guy, I don't think he's got any foot to stand on in these lawsuits.
I like Chad like furrowing his brow. He's like, I don't think this guy is going to sue Kate Meany. What the? Wait a minute. He keeps talking about putting the shitwayer in jail. Shitwayer's a free man. How can that be? John said he was going to be in prison. I like Chad realizing all these moments. It's very sweet.
This is what I'm going to do from this day forward. I'm going to just be as honest as I can with the audience, because I think in this day and age, with where the world's going, just in politics.
How long do you think this lasts?
As I said, it's possible. I got this clip from Doom. It's possible 1 minute later he lies. I have no idea.
That's true.
But if he is trying to turn over a new leaf, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Everything. We just want honesty.
Because I mean, as long ago as this whole thing was, this doesn't happen actually.
That's exactly my point. Is like there's a lot of shows, like I'm sure I don't know if Carl gives a fuck about this clip, but I'm sure he'll watch and be like, "Oh fuck Chad, he's a lot." I'll give him a little leeway and say like, "That's good, man. Like you're making good. You shouldn't lie." It is hilarious that a 48-year-old man is like, "Wait a minute, lying is bad." Like he's ever having a realization a 7-year-old would have. Like, oh, sometimes when I lie, people stop trusting me.
I didn't like people calling me Chad Smollett.
Looking for truth. We want something. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. We want honesty right now. We're sick of bullshit.
Yes, Chad for president.
Media and technology is we're getting more information than we did back in the day. We find out how corrupt these motherfuckers are, how much they lie to us for financial gain and power.
You're damn right, brother. This is now bigger than the Dabbleverse. This is about big government. Chad's also realizing, he's like, hold on, wait a second. If Stuttering John lies, who else lies? So, well, certainly not our politicians, right?
My God.
He's like, wait a second. He's thinking, fucking Biden or Trump speech pops in his head. He's like, wait, what if that wasn't true? Oh my God.
I mean, Hollywood's exposed, politicians are exposed, podcasters are exposed. So I think
Chad, not Hollywood. Say it ain't so.
I haven't heard that one. Well, I mean, he's off to a truth-telling start, at least.
Chad's reading articles. He's like, what are they giving old trustworthy Harvey Weinstein guff for?
Everyone's going to those Diddy parties.
Old Diddy would never do nothing wrong. He's a reputable guy.
Look for is honesty in news and people I follow and people that are with me, people I make moderators that see through bullshit.
You ever see the Ricky Gervais movie, The Invention of Lying?
I have never seen that.
It's a movie where lying it doesn't exist. So everyone, like, they see each other, they're like, hey, you look like shit today. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, like he walks up, Jennifer Garner is like the love interest, and they're going on a first date, and he walks up the door, and she says, sorry, it took me a while, I was just masturbating. Like, the lying doesn't exist. You're just a pro. And then Ricky Gervais is the first guy to realize, because his mother's dying, and he wants to like comfort her, so he makes up the idea of religion. He's like, well, you're not dying, you're going to heaven, and that's the invention of lying. And then he's like, I said something that wasn't, and it felt really good. And Chad is almost having the opposite moment, where Chad thinks he has invented the truth. He's like, hold on. I said something truthful the other day, and people started believing me. When your life's not a lie, you're not constantly on the run. You're not chasing your own tail, and you don't have to remember the other lies that you've told to make this one sound believable.
I heard Chad slept for 3 days straight after the show.
He's finally at peace.
Yes.
I'm just tired of running, man.
Tired of it. So I'm going to try my best to be as honest as humanly possible, and I'm not going to grift you. I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm going to try to be the best.
Starting now.
Yeah, that was a lie. That was the end. Yeah.
No, well, good for Chad. So I'm willing to give Chad the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully there are no more lies. He's turned over a new leaf. It is very funny to me that a man in his late 40s is like, oh, why doesn't anyone trust me? Oh, wait a second. Maybe it's because I've constantly been lying to them. Chad runs into the street. He's shaking penis wrinkle. I'm only going to tell the truth from now on. Gives him a big hug. Penis wrinkle's like, that's all I ever wanted, brother. So good for Chad. I hope he stands straight and flies right, or whatever the hell the saying is. And I hope he keeps up. It's very sweet that he realized telling the truth was a positive thing, and I hope he keeps that up. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure someone will send us an example of him lying 3 minutes later. But
probably, yeah.
But I hope that's not the case. I hope he's changed his ways. That's very big of him to admit.
That is. I'm shocked.
Yeah, guys, I'm lying. We're like, oh right, the thing. Yeah, we all knew you lied about. That's right.
So we got 2 things left, but they're both going to take a while, I think.
Oh, I know. Maybe we save. What time is it?
11:20.
Oh, we could do both, probably.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. So let's do Pauly Shore first. We're gonna get to Stuttering John. Don't worry. But I want to talk about this Pauly Shore thing because
it's aggravating.
Why, Craig? Why do you say that?
Unless it's a blatant ripoff on purpose, or he doesn't think he's original here, right?
Rip off? What do you mean? Pauly Shore had the 2 presidential candidates on his podcast. Isn't that really cool?
No, it's not. It was really poorly done.
No, Craig, you're wrong. No show has ever done this. I mean, maybe way back in the day, but certainly not in the last 3 months.
With the top comic playing one of the characters?
No, you're wrong. There's no way this has ever happened. So a couple months ago, or maybe a couple weeks ago, I guess, I hopped on DJ Electra's show, Catch 22.
Mm-hmm.
And she introduced me to Pauly Shore's podcast. And boy, is it a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he's trying to recreate like public access shows. If that's the bit, then he is doing a good job. Like if he wants this to be like Wayne's World, basically.
Yep. Then
I guess he's pulling it off because it seems like a mess. Like let's just see the intro here.
Well, at least Wayne and Garth had original thought.
Well, that's up for debate. But let's see the intro here. Like he's got a band. I think there's supposed to be a studio audience. I don't know what this is. It's very confusing.
Yeah, it's the Kill Pauly band.
Is there a blind guy on the? No, but here's what's different, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
So one time I saw he had a guest on, and the guest was like, I'm really good at guitar or drums rather, and Pauly was like, "You're good at drums. What if we had a drum off?"
I don't like this.
No. So, anyways, Pauly he does the PMS podcast where everyone gets one minute until you hear the sound of a kitten, and then
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PMS Podcast Show with Pauly Shore. Hey, Craig, what do we got going on today?
We got politicians.
We got politicians. What's going on with those coconuts?
Yeah, one's bigger than the other.
Okay. Nicole, what else we got today?
We got politicians.
More politicians? Joel, what else we got?
Oh, you know we got music, dude.
Oh, I love it. Well, are you guys ready for the host?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, here.
It's like Pauly was like, oh, Hinchcliffe and Heidecker are fighting. Let's make a show that's both of them.
Yes, that it is kind of a mishmash of the two. Like, I don't know what this is. Like I said, I think the best analogy is it's supposed to be like a recreation of Wayne's World or something. But I don't know if Pauly's the guy to pull that off. I found Pauly Shore to be a nightmare on podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind him.
Compton.
Yeah, like that was terrible.
Uh-huh.
Like sometimes he's okay. Like he was okay on Story Wars, even though it was kind of got in the way that he didn't know the rules and all this shit. But to me, Pauly Shore, like, I just don't get the bit of like, I'm so out of it, man. Isn't that funny? I never know what's going on.
HACKRIDE says this show has big HACKRIDER energy.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought it was funny that even Casey and DJ Electra were like, look at this horse shit. So, yeah, there's just a lot going on, and you don't know why. Like, the people he has on, I guess it's funny that they're kind of weird, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the joke there. And then before we get into the meat of this, I think, what is this next clip? The ad?
Yeah, is this real?
So, yeah, is this real, or is it, like you said, a Tim and Eric? It feels like an Adult Swim kind of thing. Is it a real advertiser?
I'll have to watch it again. I'm not sure.
Let's find out.
I can't imagine, because this episode had like 3,000 views yesterday.
Well, let's see.
I love sparklers. They provide our confetti, our poppers for our PMS podcast show. They're the best. Please tell people to go to ilovesparklers.com and you can use code Pauly for 5% off. That's right, code Pauly for 5% off. And this also includes an extra 5% off for any ongoing sale. Please, guys, just go to ilovesparklers.com.
It's a bizarre product.
It is real.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, does Pauly Shore call ilovesparklers.com? How does that work?
I just went to ilovesparklers.com and it is actually there.
Well, it's ridiculous, but it also reminded me that I forgot to tell you about j37shop.com.
And I forgot to tell you to talk about it.
So, hit up j37shop.com because my boy Joe from Virginia is back this week. He's one of the Havre de Grace 6. You're supporting a gearhead who suffered through, let me tell you about Joe from Virginia. If you go to j37shop.com, you're supporting a guy that sat through not just Tom Myers, but the horror that Dat fan introduced to us. This is a survivor. So support Joe from Virginia. Go to j37shop.com. And Joe told me to tell you fine folks, products are updated daily. So every day, according to Joe. Now, quite frankly, I'm not sure I trust this. So what I'm suggesting you guys do is go to j37shop.com every day. And if Joe isn't updating that thing daily, I want him to respond. So call Joe out. Go to j37shop.com every day and make sure that Joe is sticking to his word.
Yeah, I got the website on the screen right now. You can go buy Spice World right now.
Is it different from the last time you were there?
It does actually look like it's in a different order.
Okay, all right.
There's a Furby. I didn't see a Furby last time.
That actually is kind of cool. Yeah, go to j37shop.com. They've got electronics, toys, obviously, games, DVDs, Blu-rays, all kinds of collectibles. Stuff you didn't even know you needed. So go to j37shop.com, peruse, and you can use promo code BLINDMIKE at checkout to save 10%. So save a few bucks, use my name, code BLINDMIKE at checkout, at j37shop.com. You're supporting a gearhead, you're supporting the show, and you're getting something cool that you might like. So check out j37shop.com. Keep going back to the website. Make sure Joe updates it every day. It'll be great if he messages me and he's like, I was lying about the updating it every day thing. You really, you fucked me.
Help Joe hit the goal today.
Oh, that's right. Guys, you want to help Joe hit the goal, then go to j37shop.com and buy something. See what you like there. Promo code Blind Mike.
Someone just said listening to Dat fans should be hazard pay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We gotta kick up to this guy. The poor bastard.
HACKRIDE. I shop at J37. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, good. That's a good endorsement.
But next we have Trump.
Okay, so this is where we get pretty cool with old Pauly Shore.
Original thought.
This is really cool. I thought to myself, man, I'd like to. Comedy hasn't done a lot with the presidential race here. You know, we're in October. Maybe I would like to leave it up to a podcaster to do something to kind of comment on the political landscape right now in America. What if a podcast had Donald Trump on? Wouldn't that be something? So Rogan wasn't the only one who had Trump on this week. Pauly Shore had him as well. So let's see old Donnie on the PMS podcast. This is a big deal.
Gentleman all the way from, I guess he's from Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. Mar-a-Lago from New York. He's been on the run from the feds, and he's also, also been doing a lot of rallies lately, but he's still there and he's still in the mix. Wow. And he's here tonight, to this afternoon here. And
seems like Pauly is really curious intellectually about politics.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he is really the guy to do that. It's not just like he saw an opportunity to rip something off and use it for clicks in a title.
Mm-hmm.
He really is like curious about this and interested. You can tell from that. Hey, this guy is on the run from Mar-a-Lago. It's just like he Wikipedia'd Trump, basically. How can you not? Donald Trump is talked about so often. How can you not just come up with something original about him? You know what I mean? Like some original thought that Pauly had. You should be able to manifest one, even if you barely follow politics. But Pauly has no actual interest in doing this. He just saw, and I saw this recently, Tony Hinchcliffe talking about it. I guess the Shane Gillis, Adam Ray, Trump-Biden episode of Kill Tony had like 2.5 billion watch hours or something. Like the most watched thing in YouTube history.
Jesus.
Like, Tony was saying that based on the analytics, it wasn't just that people like clicked on it for 30 seconds and it has millions of views.
Mm-hmm.
People watched the entire thing. Anyone that paused it would go back to it and watch the rest of it. Some people watched it 2 or 3 times.
That would be me.
As far as watch hours, it's the biggest podcast in YouTube history. And Pauly said, well, every great first deserves a sequel.
Like him, he's running for president. Khalif, I'm sorry, I'm just saying we don't have a choice. Ladies and gentlemen, the real Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, is here. Real Donald Trump.
I'm glad he said the real Donald Trump. I bet this is the real guy that comes out.
Yeah, and he brings a whore with him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This takes a while. We can probably skip ahead 10 seconds.
And they have gay dudes in dresses dancing on him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's unique. Tony didn't do that.
He didn't. But Donald Trump, I think, liked Shane's lines because he says...
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny. I was scratching my head. Donald Trump gets out there, and I'm thinking, I feel like I can't put my finger on it. I feel like I may have heard this. You know what? It's probably something the real Donald Trump said. So obviously a good impressionist would take from that and sort of make it his own.
That's right.
Thank you.
I love a standing ovation.
Thank you.
This guy's good.
A standing ovation. I call that a standing ovulation.
Wow.
Is that Donald?
That's him.
By the way, Casey Day, do you see how annoying the rim shot is? just a little subliminal message here. Listen to who else is using it.
He should have got the air horn that he was using.
I do like that more, if I'm being honest.
So there's a lot of questions we have here.
Oh, I'm sure. This is quite a place you have here. Is this been condemned or something?
Donald?
Is it safe?
Wow.
Is it safe?
We got the real.
We've known each other for years.
That's pretty crazy.
We've known each other for decades.
And is this one of your daughters? What's going on here?
No, this is my California vagina. Yeah.
Okay. Well, does she have a name?
Not even like making an effort. It's just a bat to the head.
Didn't even try.
Not even making an effort towards subtlety. It's just get it. He likes pussy.
Have a name here.
She has the softest skin. I have
So
to
this
tell
is-
you need to hit this when you get the opportunity. It's absolutely fantastic.
She has big coconuts too.
She does have big coconuts.
Okay.
And now, when I was president, all women had big boobs. Under Biden, boobs have gotten smaller.
Right.
But I made sure she has tremendous boobs because I love boobs. I have to tell you something.
Does she have a name? Can you-
Holy fuck.
It's just, I think the most popular line from the Kill Tony episode was Mexican tits, big fentanyl tits.
Yeah. Or
Why
the
would
tits
you
are
start?
real.
If you're doing this, why would you start by making it so obvious that you watched the Kill Tony episode?
Right off the bat, too. Like it's. Oh.
Do we have any other fun Trump before our next surprise guest gets out here?
Chrissy, why do you think the polls are so close between is this your boyfriend or is your what is he, your
Sugar daddy.
mischief? What's it called?
He's my lover.
Your lover.
Yeah.
So why is it so close with Kamala and your lover? The polls.
I think a lot of people think that he's sexy. So
Sexy?
so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Sexist, maybe.
Yeah.
So hold on. You're treating it like you're nailing the real Donald Trump?
Yeah, the gay guy was like, he
That's-
said this maybe.
That's the approach you're taking? Is like, oh, we could we have Trump on, so we could really crucify him. Like, no. Have a little fun with it. You know?
This is
What a-
so bad.
What a horribly done piece of thievery this is. And Pauly Shore was on Kill Tony this summer. You know what I mean? Like, he's been on fairly recently.
He's been on a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is our next guest.
Okay, well, you guys are thinking, Mike, why you... That's crazy. We're in the midst of a presidential race. You think they're ripping off Kill Tony just because they had Donald Trump on? Well, it's more the element of having both presidential candidates that I thought was really trying to capitalize on something.
All right, like I said earlier, we playing both sides here on the PMS podcast show. It's not just Donald Trump. We also have Kamala Harris, right? Woo! So she's coming out here today. She's the senator, vice president. Khalif, are you excited to see Kamala here in Los Angeles? What's up?
So very excited.
So why don't you go to the center of the room and tell everybody who your favorite candidate is here?
Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite candidate, Kamala Harris.
Again, we could probably skip ahead a little bit here because it takes so fucking long.
This is apparently like a big Asian woman playing Kamala, or Samoan possibly.
Oh, so that's fun, I guess. That's different.
Yep. I guess it's, you don't know what she is, so I guess that's pretty realistic.
That's interesting. I didn't realize it was a big lady.
Nice to see you. Thank you guys for coming here. There you go. All right, there you go.
Very nice.
All right.
Wow.
Sit down.
Guys, be nice.
So-
Come on.
Yeah.
Stop
Play
fighting,
nice.
please.
It's an awkward handshake.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Okay.
The Kamala is better than the Trump, I think. If we're grading impressions.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
Hi.
Hold on, go back a second. You know how all good impressions. Like, you know how Shane Gillis came out on Kill Tony and was like, "I'm Donald Trump. You know me. I'm the president of the United States."
Mm-hmm.
And then Adam Ray, of course, came out and was like, "I'm Joe Biden." So, we knew by like we understood who it was.
I will say, looking at this Donald Trump guy, I would know what he was doing. This lady, I would have no idea.
That's fair.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Okay. Hi. I'm Kamala Harris.
Hi. You don't have to.
You were just introduced.
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
I think he even did. He just say like you don't have to say that.
Yeah.
Even he's like, this just sucks.
They had nothing prepared other than, hey, we should have Trump and Kamala on because maybe that'll get like views or whatever. But they had Pauly Shore doesn't give a fuck about this. They just let the impressionists go off, and Pauly Shore's like, hey, the economy, pretty crazy, huh? How about that economy? It's like, boy, you really did your research for this, Pauly.
Good debate.
Right there.
Let's have a good debate.
Good
All right.
debate. Good debate.
We're not really debating. It's just a talk show.
Right.
First of all, just like I said to Trump, you are the real Kamala Harris. You're not a lookalike.
I am not a lookalike. Okay. I'm the real deal.
So they're just like acknowledging.
Yep.
They're like, oh, hey, you're really Kamala Harris, and she's like, don't I look like her? Yeah.
Do you have to laugh again so you know it's me?
Good stuff. But this is like, so what was interesting about Kill Tony is these guys, first of all, Adam Ray and Shane Gillis know the show, so they know how to contribute to it. And they still did the episode of Kill Tony, and these two guys were the judges.
Right.
It wasn't Tony like, all right, you two make magic. I'm just going to sit here and sip my beverage.
Right. Because like,
You know what
worst
I mean?
case, if Shane and Adam Ray bombed, it's like they still just do the Kill Tony show.
The other big difference is Shane and Adam Ray are both good at that. Like Shane could have said, if you made Shane sit out there by himself as Trump for an hour, he probably could have made that funny. So like those guys were good at. Paulie's like, hey, you two take the ball. I'm just gonna say buzzwords like economy every once in a while. I'm gonna say assassination attempt and let you guys take the ball and run with it.
This next clip is just called Quite a Parody, so you can imagine how great it is.
So, like, I'm watching this and I'm like, this is what you're doing with it? You're treating it like you have Trump on? Like, why?
I'm bringing people
You're black,
together.
you're Indian, and you have a Jewish husband. I can't compete with that.
I know.
So Trump, she does check all the boxes. You just check the Aryan Nation box.
Well,
and
that's
your girlfriend.
And my girlfriends too. But the thing was, she wasn't black until recently.
That's not true either.
No, you were an Indian. Then one day you switched to dark mode, and all of a sudden
Dark
you're black.
mode.
Like on the computer.
No.
This is like almost exactly how it happened, though.
They're right. They have guys off camera white knighting. They're like, hey, no, that's not true. It's like, we know it's not true. It's a parody. Why are you doing it like this?
Paulie's like, you check the Aryan box.
And that's the weird thing is like, I don't think Paulie's political either way. This is just an attempt for people to be like, boy, he really nailed Trump.
Got him.
Like, what's the if you just insult the fake Trump? How is it different than MSNBC? How is it a comedy show?
MSNBC is probably funnier.
Always been mixed race.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been this person. I'm sorry that your brain can't handle two things at once.
So how come you didn't work at an Indian restaurant? Why did you work at McDonald's? Why did you work in an Indian restaurant or a black restaurant?
Oh, wow.
Jesus Christ, Rose.
That's quite a
Rose,
question.
what do you think?
Yeah, Rose. Chime in.
I'm super excited to vote for you, Kamala Harris.
It's not Kamala. That's not her. It's an imposter.
Pauly Shore is the.
I feel like Chad now. I have to break in and be like, this isn't the truth.
Yeah, that'd be great, Chad. This is like the podcast police now. He just comes in and be like, this is factually incorrect. And he leaves.
You just see comments from Chad Zumock. This is not Trump or Harris. Everyone beware.
Chad just gives like a Rotten Tomatoes type score in the chat. That'd be great.
They're lying. But do you get what I'm saying about the parody element? It's like if you're
not
just like, oh no, hey,
anything.
you're just like, hey, Trump says inappropriate stuff, and Kamala's a real politician. It's like, no, we know. We could just watch reel them.
Her fake laugh is not going to carry Pauly through a great episode.
No, like the girl does a decent Kamala laugh. That is not an hour of content. I've got bad news for you, Pauly.
No, it is not.
This was brutal. It's interesting that you could argue the greatest podcast of the year, the comedy event of the year, and the worst thing to happen to comedy. Both have the same premise. It's really interesting that worked out like that.
Well, someone like we said, someone was like,
the equivalent is like Tony would have won an Oscar this year for that episode, and this would win a Razzie.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the exact same idea, just executed terribly.
This is a perfect example of what we were talking about. This next one is just called Too Serious.
No, it's good. Paulie, if I have a little advice, it's good to have two impressionists on and treat it like a real interview.
Yeah, because on Kill Tony, Shane did it at one point. He said like one line, it wasn't a joke, and he was like, "I'm winning in Michigan," or whatever the fuck, and he was like, "I'm getting way too into character."
Right. but this would be if Tony was like, "Well, how do you actually respond to what's going on at the border?"
Right.
And like they make a joke about it, and Tony's like, "Well, but seriously though, it's like, okay, what are we doing here?"
By the way, they love me in India, folks. They love me in India.
I don't think that's true.
That is true. I was with Modi in the cricket stadium. They love cricket, so they built a stadium just for crickets. And 100,000 people. It smelled like curry and BO, but they love me. They absolutely love me.
Do you believe he keeps talking when this is her turn?
It's my turn.
Yeah, he needs to shut the fuck up.
It's amazing how much someone can.
No. You don't want him to shut the fuck up. The point is, the Trump guy is supposed to be funny.
And he's at least trying to make jokes. I will say his Trump impression is getting better now that he's not like saying canned Shane Gillis lines.
I get it's not great, but I get you know who he's doing at least.
Right.
But like, hey, he needs to shut the fuck up. No. The point of having him on was to say ridiculous Trump type shit.
Right.
You don't tell the guest impersonator to stop talking.
Hey, shut up.
The only point of this episode is them talking. Literally no one else added anything. Yeah, he really needs to watch what he says. That's the character.
Don't worry, Mike. I know you're thinking this is going to end strong.
I hope so.
No, this is how it ends.
So the only reason I'm not making you sit through
the whole thing.
I
saw how long it was.
Yeah, the entire 4 minutes. I would gladly make you all sit through this because I had to. I just don't. I think we'll get taken down for the music.
Oh, maybe.
But hey, Pauly joins the band, and he says, "Guys, this nation needs healing." I'm going to tell you because we're not going to listen to the whole song. There are no lyrics changed or added. This is, again, not a parody song. This is how, maybe there's a joke that I'm missing, I guess. But Pauly Shore ends his show like this.
Imagine there's no heaven.
This is not a joke.
It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us.
I'm sitting there watching this stunned. There's not a moment where he breaks character and laughs at himself. He doesn't change the lyrics to make it a parody. He literally sings Imagine to end this show about the presidential race.
God, everybody at home, come on, everybody. Imagine all the people.
Like he tries to have this like poignant moment at the end of the podcast. Why does he do this? He's the weasel. He's not supposed to provide thought-provoking, like, imagine if there was no heaven.
It's the weasel.
I'm trying to think. Imagine there's no religion. It's easy if you try.
Huh.
Like we're all sitting at home thinking, that's interesting.
I never thought about it like that.
Boy, I guess John Lennon did get it right. What a tremendous jackass.
Oh,
and I swear to you, go watch the ending. It's worth it for that, to see this utter shit show ripping off Kill Tony. And then it ends with him singing, I guess to bring the nation together or something. It's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Yeah, so it was. I felt that needed exposing. I actually, because, like I said, ELECTRA introduced this to me on Catch 22. So for a while, I was like, "Oh, we should feature Pauly Shore's podcast at some point." And I just happened to click on it this week, and I was like, "Oh boy!" I guess I caught him at the right time.
We got some super chats here. Got a couple.
Let's catch up, shall we?
Say No More, $5. Kenny G has a Christmas album out this year. Hey, happy birthday, Jesus. Hope you like crap, Norm.
It's exciting.
Did Norm say that?
Yes. I don't think it was delivered with quite the same gusto that Craig delivered it, but
Yeah, you don't think I did a good
no.
Norm impression? So I couldn't be on Pauly's show. Or maybe I could actually.
Actually, no, you could. You could take that very serious. It'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm not Norm Macdonald. I wouldn't say that.
Doesn't own a doghouse. Port Film Co-op, $2. Can blind people cry?
Oh yeah.
Watch-
believe you me.
Watch the Kirk Minahan show.
There's evidence of it out there.
Trent Pavo, $5. Never get to hear you live. Here is some money for the hearing aids.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
I come buckets, $2.
Wait, hold on. I have to. His hearing aids or mine?
No idea.
I can hear.
This would sound a lot different if it was the Deaf Mike show.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Just Stuttering John.
Why didn't you tell me it's such a fucking movie?
Craig, play the clip.
I haven't. This whole time. I come buckets, $2. Schaub would maul Diaz. Shut up, Craig. Hashtag thick boy.
Ha ha. You sound like an idiot.
We got a new member here, Darth Nugs.
Hey, Darth Nugs. I've heard that name before.
And then Darth Nugs, right after, gifted a membership.
Wow. He saw how good it was and said, I can't be the only one enjoying this.
Guys, there's a lot of stuff back here.
It's too much for one man.
Yeah. And lastly, we got Dawn Fried Chicken, $2. To be fair, that girl does have great jugs. She did.
Is that right?
Yep.
Well, good for Donnie then, I guess.
This is where you do wish you were deaf. You could have seen him.
All right, let's get to the main course here, shall we?
We shall.
Stuttering John had an utter meltdown on Friday. A disastrous show, and what was great about it, it was a 3-course meal because he had Vince the lawyer on to take things very seriously. I don't know if you know this, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
The shitware is up to his old tricks.
Nuh-uh.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. Then things get a little, I wouldn't say lighter, but take a different turn. It's a different mood. When Clay Dabbler comes in and they argue, they go crazy. And then Rob Saul, as always, the comedic relief, really lets us let our hair down and have some fun. So this is 3 shows in one on Friday from Stuttering John. Let's start, shall we?
Yep, we got new lawsuit.
So I'll let you in on Craig is kind of the sounding board for anyone that doesn't know what's going on with Stuttering John. He doesn't pay as close attention as I do, so I always like to update him. Vince the lawyer and Stuttering John have been trying to insinuate that Shuley is somehow involved with his former producer, ISO Doe.
Correct.
You remember ISO Doe, who had mountains of child porn on his computer.
Yeah, pouring out for ISO, right, guys?
Yeah. So Stuttering John and Vince the lawyer have been on this crusade. I should say Vince the lawyer, Stuttering John has been on a crusade to expose Shuley as a pedophile. Vince the lawyer has been egging him on, provoking him. So there are these videos they're watching where it's like Shuley talking to 14-year-olds or 10-year-olds or whatever, playing, World of Warcraft or whatever the fuck they play, Fortnite. Like he's playing video games online, and there's audio of him playing with like kids, and the kids being like, "You're gay," and he's like, "You're gay," like that type of shit.
You're gay. No, you're gay. You want to meet up?
Yeah. Well, so to me, that's like if we found out, kidding aside, Craig's character aside, if Craig was playing fucking Madden with 13-year-olds, we would make fun of him for that. we'd probably make jokes about him being a pedophile.
Probably natural.
I wouldn't be like, to take a brief moment, folks, I think Craig should be jailed.
This is online too, not like by choice.
It's on. He's online gaming.
Okay.
Yeah. So Vince the lawyer. It is kind of funny because John believes it. Vince the lawyer puts together these videos, or I guess Tukey puts them together. Carl says it's Vince the lawyer. I don't know. But there are these videos they watch where it's Shuli going, "How old are you?" And the kid goes, "I'm 14," and then it goes 14. 14, and then like a monster voice, 14.
Turns into the movie 23, but
yeah, so it's like one of those movie trailers, and then it's like Shuli lost some bet to him, so they put like music behind it, and Shuli going, "What's your Venmo?" And then Stuttering John like pause it, and he's like, "Oh my god." He's like, "I can't believe it." Again, is it weird to play video games with a 10-year-old online? Absolutely. Like I would make fun of him for that.
Yeah.
But it's not criminal behavior. It happens all the time.
Especially like Call of Duty or something.
Right, exactly. And I think that's what it is. It's like Call of Duty or something like that. So they've been playing these videos. All right, that was a long setup to get where we're going here. The Shuli Network put together a video. John, we know how John is with people's wives.
Yep. Really respectful.
Yeah, we saw how he was with Richard Ojeda's wife and everything. So John says to Vince the lawyer, he says stuff like, "Hey, how's Lori?" or whatever, like Vince's wife. He goes, "Hey, how's Lori?" And Vince goes, "Oh, she's doing good." And John goes, "Why don't you give her a kiss on the lips for me?" Because he always says she's hot or whatever.
Why don't you tongue a box for me? Just let her know I'm there.
So Shuli edited that so it sounds like John says about Vince's daughter, "Why don't you give her a kiss on the lips for me?" And then Shuli watches and is like, "Oh my God, I can't believe John's saying this." A funny retaliation, I guess. This is John reacting to that.
But you don't pull that shit, bro. You don't fucking start editing to try and make me look like a fucking creep like your fucking producer or a creep like you.
John, the whole video you were watching was editing to make Shuli look like more of a creep.
And the one that they watched of Stuttering John probably wasn't edited at all.
So no, it was. That's the point. Is it was edited to sound like the daughter instead of the wife or something like that.
Oh.
But like that's kind. But like John, I hope you know, like editing video is not illegal. Cutting up your show and playing clips so that you sound goofy. Unfortunately, man, there's not a law on the books. Boy, would I love it. I think that'd be really great for podcasting. Is if we made a law that you can't fuck with audio for comedy's sake. I think that'd be really good. And as a stand-up comedian, I'm sure John agrees. But unfortunately, nothing on the books as of yet.
Fucking cursing at a 10-year-old. No. I, as a school teacher in LA, I have to be around children. Okay?
He's not a school teacher anymore.
If
so
I want to go,
why he's referencing that?
John, is this a you have to or you have the pleasure of, sir?
But he's not only does he not have to be a school teacher in LA, he doesn't live in California anymore. He's on the complete opposite side of the state. He moved to Florida. So it's weird. He keeps saying this. He's like, "They've ruined my chance at being a teacher in LA." It's like, you don't live there anymore. You're 3,000 miles away, John.
Back and do it. Then what? This shit gets out? No. That's defamation in the highest order. You can't start editing shit around to make it sound. Everybody in their right minds who watches this program knows I have never, ever said anything to the sort.
Well, I got bad news for you, John. That's going to make a defamation case pretty tough. You can't go into a courtroom and say, "No one believed this," and sue for defamation. That's not how defamation works. If no one believed it, you're not going to have much of a lawsuit on your hands.
That's a great point. I didn't even think of that.
He's like, "Listen, no one believes this." And I'm going to sue for defamation. Well, you can't do both, John, unfortunately. Actually, what you should say is everyone believed it.
that you have implied with that stupid fucking tape that you edited so fucking haphazardly with that fucking trailer trash fucking gun pulling on a septuagint.
I'll get. Hold on. I want to see John tackle that word. I'm sorry. Give me a second. But I would also say, again, John, you shouldn't be saying that the video was edited haphazardly. You should actually be saying the video was edited meticulously and looks like it could be very real. Because again, if you're suggesting the video looks completely fake and no one believes it, that's going to be pretty damning for the lawsuit. Well, Mr. Melendez, how about this bit of evidence where you're saying no one thought it was real? That seems protected under parody law.
Was this thing like cut together like one of those videos that's like, but like it's not like there's no flow?
I don't know, but again, it's funny you say that because Stuttering John, coming from the world of Howard Stern, Dolly Parton tried this. I think Dolly Parton tried to sue Howard Stern for editing her audiobook to make it sound like she was saying, like, I like black cock and stuff like that. That'll be a fun drop for Casey to have. But
put it in the outro.
I think she tried a lawsuit and it just didn't take because everyone, like, no one thought this was real.
Fucking gun pulling on a septuagenarian, whatever you fucking call
Why would you try it? Listen, I'm not even going to shit on you, John. Septuagenarian. Am I saying it right even? Septuagenarian?
I don't even know what he's trying to fucking say. I thought he was trying to go
someone
for
in their
geriatric.
70s. Octogenarian is a 80-year-old. Someone in their 80s.
Oh.
Septuagenarian, someone in their 70s.
Who fucking talks like that?
Why would you attempt it, John? It's a difficult word. I'm not going to shit on you for mispronouncing it. Why attempt it in the middle of this passionate rant?
Because it shows how serious he is.
Yeah. Who's he? An old person.
Next we have Everything Changes.
Oh, well, I got bad news for you. If you like the way the Dabbleverse has been going, this is the first day. For the last 6 years, it's been Groundhog Day. Everything's been the fucking same. Today, everything changes.
You can't be fucking around like that shit where you can't start editing shit to make me look like I'm saying something nefarious.
Well, he can and he did. He can and he did. It's I'm sure it's still on YouTube.
The children. And I am not going to take this sitting down. I know you think I'm all about fucking threats. I have sued 2 people in my life.
Whoa.
I have filed an ethics complaint. I'm not somebody that's always going to say he's going to do something and not. And my attorney also said I could sue Kate Meany on my own. I don't need an attorney. I said, really?
No, I think he said, I'm not taking this.
Hold on a second. You know these lawyers are never looking to make a buck.
Yeah.
Lawyers never want to just hop on a case, even if they find it to be possibly frivolous. But this lawyer said, hey, John, the good news is you don't even need me. Here's the best legal advice I could provide as your lawyer. Handle it yourself. I think it would be great to see this man who couldn't pronounce septuagenarian. I think it'd be great to see him tango in a courtroom. That's my best legal advice that I could give as a lawyer. First of all, I'm sure this was a very real lawyer John was talking to and not someone on the internet.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't Vince.
Definitely not. But no, it's good. I think that's always the best course, is represent yourself. That's the best legal advice I could give you, John.
Yeah.
That worked out well.
Now, everything changes.
Oh.
Everything does.
Well, good. Wow. Then I guess when I turned on his show the next day, it wasn't him complaining about the shitware and complaining about Lady K, because I guess everything has changed now. Nothing's the same as it was.
That's right. Now, next we have Clay, and can you give me the briefest synopsis of them falling out? Because wasn't it by mistake?
I'll do my best. No, so you're thinking of the clips that me and Carl talked about, but it was a little confusing because there was a fake Clay dabbler that he blocked and was yelling at.
Right.
And he's like, I don't even like Clay Dabbler. And then realized it wasn't Clay Dabbler that he blocked and was like, I was lying. I do like him.
I was just kidding.
But so here's what happened. I'll try and explain this the best I can. I'm sure I'm missing something. I actually asked Clay Dabbler to come on for this reason.
Yeah.
Because I don't fully understand it. He declined. I might be wrong about Clay Dabbler, by the way.
The long con is not a long con. He's just actually into
I think he actually likes John and is like hurt by this. I think he's actually like, this is my buddy, and he's treating me like shit. So maybe I'm wrong about Clay Dabbler fucking with this guy. But I asked Clay to come on to explain this. He declined, so I'll do my best to try and take over for him. Clay Dabbler blocked the legend in John's chat. Clay Dabbler was John's modifier. He blocks the legend. The legend is one of John's highest donors, a high roller, if you will.
My God.
Legend gives John a lot of money. John was screaming about why would you block this guy? Turns out Clay Dabbler didn't block him, according to Clay. It might have been a mistake that Clay made. It might have been a mistake that John made, but it wasn't intentional, I guess. Why this would cause a fight between two grown men, I don't really know. I don't quite get it. I guess I'll try and put myself in that position and say, like, if ELECTRA blocked Box Eating Dad, one of our top guys here, I would go, hey, you shouldn't have done that. Could you unblock him? And she would probably go, oh, sorry. Yeah. So I can't put myself in a space where I would be in a real fight about this.
Those two going out to dinner is more likely than her blocking him, though.
Oh, I've heard. Sweeping her off her feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't really wrap my head around it, but that's about the basis that I understand. You guys feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But all right, so we're hearing from Clay Dabbler here?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Clay. All right. So first of all,
the lies that you've been telling.
Clay.
That's what they are, John. That's what they are. All lies.
Clay.
Go on, carry
Good
on.
for Clay, who's always subservient to this guy, calls him out for one thing, and John cannot handle it.
Nope. That's how he always has been with everybody.
It's what I've always said. We said it about Rob Salt. Like, there's going to be a day where these guys say something that John doesn't like, and it's like, okay, you're dead to me now.
Yeah, one of these days, Rob's gonna, come up for air out of his aunt's ass and realize what's happening.
By the way, John gave us our answer. We were speculating what will Rob call. John jokingly called him the dog diddler. So we know when that's the nickname. When John has gold, he never strays from it. So whenever it's going to be the dog diddler. Whenever he fights with Rob.
Start from the beginning. Don't worry. You'll have your time to speak.
Right, in your opinion, but I will tell you from the exact perspective of the person it happened to, what happened. But go on and carry on.
Hold on.
Hold on, Clay. I just got to take 40 minutes to find the clip I'm looking for.
He's like, hold on, people pay me.
So that's Clay. That's the energy Clay comes in with, and you could Clay's actually angry. I don't know this man. Like I said, I reached out to him. Seems like a nice enough guy. Maybe he's even fooling me. But it seems like a guy who actually liked John and is like offended that it took this turn. So this is the long clip, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, we're actually gonna be done early, and I was like, oh yeah, this one's long.
This one's long. We'll get through it as best as we can. Some of it we can just breeze through. Hopefully, I don't have to stop it too much. But this is the big beef between these two.
I don't care. I don't even know if that's your real name.
What, Stu Pitt? You don't think is his real name? Probably.
This is where Clay has had it with this asshole. So you're wearing
like we're gonna cruise through this 8 seconds in. You're like, wait a minute.
Enough. You're familiar with our friend Penis Wrinkle?
Yeah.
Rob Saul has been threatening litigation against Penis Wrinkle. Today he was taking pictures of mean comments Penis Wrinkle was leaving on John's show.
Good.
And he was like, I'm just making sure I document these. Like, oh, good. I'm sure the cops will take this very seriously. Officer, someone was being mean to me on the internet. We'll arrest him right away, Rob.
Turn your computer off.
Yeah, have you tried logging out, sir? So, John finally had enough of Penis Wrinkle's antics. And he says, oh yeah, Stewart? Didn't think I knew your name, did you? Now, I'm giving John the benefit of the doubt and saying that this was a John joke. Because you hear him say a couple times, like, I never said his last name. John did say the last name. And a lot of people have taken this literally. I think John was trying to be funny, and the joke just did not land.
Oh, no. You're falling for his charms.
I might be. Because I believe there's no way that John thought Penis Wrinkle's real name was Stewart Pidd. Which, you know what his buddies would call him, Craig?
Stu for short?
That's right.
There's
no way John believed that. That's all. I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. There's no way he thought his name was Stupid. It's impossible. He's an adult man. I understand he's dumb. He's made it 60 years on this planet. There's no way he thought the guy who's trolling him is really named Stupid.
I think he might. No, Stewart Pidd. He didn't shorten the name. He is dumb.
Stewart Pidd. So that's what Clay Dabbler's saying here. I'm on Team John with that part, but
how dare you?
I know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And plus, I don't say a last name.
Yeah, but how could you not even? How would you even not recognize that instantly? I mean, how many names has Penis Wrinkle had from your stupid PI, whoever has given you this information?
Clay Dabbler, thanks for the $2. So you don't want me on now? That's the hypersensitive Clay Dabbler.
Oh, no, you said
that was kind of funny.
And that you're sending.
Well, it's he always does that to him though. But like literally, he had Clay scheduled, and he goes, "We're not getting to Clay Dabbler right now. Vince the lawyer's coming on." So Clay Dabbler was actually asking, "Can I go outside and enjoy my day now, or do I have to be here?" Clay Dabbler was legitimately asking him.
I would say to Clay, you don't have to be there ever.
Well, true, but they had to have this out, you know.
It's true,
but that is fair.
So I'm asking you a question.
Well, you saw what transpired, didn't you?
Yeah. So I'm asking you the question: can I fucking go and do other shit, or do I need to? Am I coming on?
All right.
So that's sensitive. How should I have worded it, John?
Okay.
That would not make me crying Clay, which is another bullshit fucking term.
Okay. Now here we go. Now I'm going to explain to everybody what transpired.
Here we go. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to talk. Who says here we go now before you just speak? He's not pulling up a clip or anything. He's like, all right, here we go. Get ready. Buckle up. Johnny's got words coming, and now.
I'm going to tell you like it is.
She's wrong. Go on. Sorry. Carry on.
Tongue-tied.
When you asked if you could be my mod, correct?
Yeah. For what reason? What reason did I want to be your mod? Say the reason. What was the whole purpose of it?
So you can block people that talking shite about my family.
No. Lies about super chats, and everybody in the chat knows the exact rule that I put in place.
I don't know. What was it? Tell me, Clay.
This is where it gets a little like, I don't really give a fuck about any of this, but we'll power through it.
The whole reason I said to you, it's fucking live on your show, John. It happened. It's recorded. I said I'm going to be your mod to stop these people talking about your money and no super chatting and all that shit.
Okay,
and I would not be a single person.
Okay.
It's funny. Yeah, exactly. So it's funny
it's
that
not
I'm gonna.
Important, Clay.
Okay, I do like that John does that though. Like he's just wrong about something. He's like, okay, whatever. Move past that. If you ever made a point that wasn't to the teeth, literal, exactly what happened, John would play the semantics game and go, no, you said, actually, you said Wednesday afternoon, it was Wednesday evening. And it's like, okay, John, it's the semantics game that John plays every day. And when someone else does that, and it's like, no, I didn't want to be, me being a mod had nothing to do with your family. It was blocking people that were trying to fuck with your money. Okay. I know that your entire argument hinges on this thing. Let's pretend we never heard it. Clay's trying to say, if it's a little confusing, like the reason I wanted to be your mod was to block people that are fucking with your money. So if the legend or whoever says like something that affects that, you told me to block them. I believe that's Clay's entire point.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But carry on.
Either way, and I said, Clay, nothing ever good happens from being a mod.
Wow, wise words. Nothing ever good happens.
Yeah, Electra and HACKRIDE in the chat right now must be fuming.
I hope he's not an English teacher. Nothing ever good happens. Yeah,
Well,
John, I gotta say.
To be fair, I think he's right. R.I.P. Andrea. We had her for a little.
Well, there was just no reason to have her. You know what I mean? I didn't choose that actually, but like John's the only one doing that shit on his channel.
That's true.
Like I've never had a problem with Electra where I'm like, I gotta pull you aside for a moment.
Electra's the best.
This is gonna get real serious between you and me. We're gonna have it out. What were you doing to Dang Lizard today? You bitch! I can't imagine a scenario. Even with like when Andrea was moderating our chat, I just said to Casey, I was like, "Yeah, I don't really care about any of this. If it affects, I don't want it to get in the way of the show. So if it's the thing people are talking about, let's just not do it." You know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck about it. It wasn't like a heated argument where we had to have a knockdown, drag-out fight in the streets.
I've had a bad experience with a bunch of mods before. I said, it's not something I would want to do. And then you're like, oh, come on. And I made you a mod. Now, Clay, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Have you ever blocked anybody?
Yes.
Okay, because I have proof of that.
Yeah.
He just said he did.
He said yes.
Have you ever blocked a super chatter?
Fake mumbling Nick, who talked about your daughter's surgical scars. Should I have left him in there when he's talking about your daughter's surgical scars?
Hey! Stop making points.
He's being such a good friend. He is not in it for the long haul.
I know, Clay Dabbler is not fucking with John. He's trying to be friends with this guy, and John's not letting him.
No.
Shit in the chat pretending to be Nick.
Clay, you don't have to get too graphic here, Clay.
Well, you want to know?
No, I just asked a simple question. Just say yes or no.
Yes, but if he said yes, it would have you would have pounced on him. So he was giving the reason. Hey, this guy was talking shit about your kids. Something you claim you don't want done.
He should have let him explode and then said that. That would have been my hindsight.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, with we're not in the moment, so we have the power of hindsight. But you're right.
Nick. And I told you about Logan. Yes.
I'm doing the fucking interrogation right now.
Yeah, carry on.
Now,
dumb cop.
Is it possible that when you were blocking one of these guys who was saying no super chats or, putting in the L, whatever it was, is it possible that the thing shifted and you accidentally blocked the legend?
Listen carefully, John. When I'm on this live with you right now, this is all I have, a phone. Yeah, do you see anything else around me that I'm clicking on? There's no laptop, there's no fucking PC, there's no tablet, there's a fucking phone. When I'm on this phone, I see you, me, I see a little picture of me, and then I see you are in a show. I can't even see the chat, I can't control the chat, I can't fucking mod the chat unless I leave this fucking live stream and go into your live chat. So it's bullshit. And the fact that you went through your fucking block list and he wasn't even on there.
Oh, that's another crucial piece of information.
It wasn't even true.
The legend wasn't blocked.
Chat, oh my God. But you said it's proof, there's proof in black and white, John. You said, legend, you're not on here. You're not on here, legend.
Different fucking email name.
What, Gorilla?
Everybody
Gorilla
has
on that
name. Everybody has different names.
It's not an email name, mate. It's your name. It's not an email name, is it? It's your fucking screen name.
Everybody has different names.
Oh my God. All right, John.
I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but if the legend was in under the legend is not his legal name.
No.
So if the legend is in an account that isn't the legend and it's something else, how's Clay supposed to know? Then it's just any account,
Penis Wrinkle, this isn't a super chat, but he says, Clay 100% just wanted to be friends and protect John. I talked to the guy. He was impenetrable with any kind of John bashing.
I got new Penis Wrinkle. You got a lot of, no pun intended, frankly, you got a lot of balls showing up here. Because I will go to the police if you say anything else like that. Do you understand me? So choose your words very carefully, wise guy. If you chat us again, I might call the cops.
Penis Wrinkle 12. But Dustin
Hey! What did I just say?
But Dustin and Legend both said he did block him.
Okay. Well, I trust Dustin and the Legend. But Penis Wrinkle, and this goes for any of you out there, just know, if you chat this show, if you super chat us, or just one of the poors chatting away, I may go to the police at any time. Pick a name in the chat right now, Craig. A name at random.
Penis Wrinkle is a member. I do want to say that.
I'll have him arrested. I don't care.
Tiger Lily.
Oh, Tiger Lily, you have been cruising for a bruising for some time. Watch what the fuck you say about me in that chat. Because I will lop Tiger Lily's head off just to show the rest of you a lesson. I will have her behind bars, or him, most likely.
It sounds like her name.
Yeah, but
this day and age, who fucking knows, right, guys?
What a wild. If I ever get to the point where like I'm seriously having those discussions with my chat,
oh God,
someone pull the plug, please. Like someone that cares about me, message me, whatever you have. Like shake me awake and say, Mike, you've lost it. You've gone too far down this rabbit hole.
Right now, Patrick Ford's like, yes. Oh shit, dude! Rusty Mert says Blind Mike isn't blind.
Oh, Rusty. Oh, Rusty Mertz. I'm going to write that name down because you, my friend, don't realize what you've just stepped in. It's my trap, if you're wondering.
Clay,
and now you will rot in a prison cell.
If you weren't sure, it is my trap.
What do you think the police would do to Rusty Mertz if I called them to say, "Hey, there's a man. I'm blind, just so you know, and there's a man saying I'm not."
Yeah, we checked the whole globe. That name doesn't exist anywhere.
Rusty Mertz.
Possible is the answer. No.
Hey, this is how we're going to resolve this very simply.
The only resolve is you apologizing.
No, Clay. This is
there's no resolve.
This is how I'm going to resolve it. I don't give a shit. Okay, it's
good.
Water under the bridge.
Well,
Let's just move on, Clay.
Well, you give a shit what Lady Legend says. That fucking.
That's great. It's great. It's great to be like. So Stuttering John has been going off on Clay Dabbler for a couple weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a traitor. He's a crybaby. He ruins the show anyways when he's on. And then when Clay Dabbler makes a couple points where John realizes he might be wrong, John's like, "Well, why are we even talking about this? What's the?"
Hey, no big deal.
I don't even get it. Why are you bringing this up, Clay? No. You made him come on to address this.
Let's talk about something else.
John's like, why are we even talking about this? This is silly. Let's put it past us.
Texting every 5 minutes.
It's not a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's a big deal to me, John, because we shit on our...
Why are you in Julie's chat? Do you want me to
It's not me, you fucking delusional. It's not me.
Listen to what... Can I tell you what... He does get there. Go back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Clay Dabbler in this moment is doing everything he can to not just say, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, he stopped himself.
He's still trying... He gets there eventually. But he stopped himself. Like, he's actually trying to preserve this relationship with John. He wants to be friends with this guy. But he's like, you're so fucking dumb. He's like, just because you see Clay Dabbler in Shuli's chat, it's not me, you fucking moron. Anyone can make their name that. Someone
took my YouTube name and picture and is in chats saying horrible shit.
That's very funny.
It is funny. I get screenshots in the Blind Mike fucking Discord sometimes. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, hey guys, wasn't actually me.
Yeah, don't do anything like my message is always don't do anything like seriously bad with that. But like if it's funny, you know?
I mean, like, if it came down to it, it's probably pretty easy to be like, you can check IP or whatever. Like that's not me.
Yeah. I blocked like a fake me just because they were trying to do things that like kind of seemed like me. They were like responding to like Portnoy and stuff. Kind of trying to seem like it was me. So I was just like, I'm just gonna block this and have no association with it. But but in general, like, I'm sure there's a.
Why are you in
Hey, I'm talking there.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sure there's a guy named Stuttering John in John's chat.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing that he never learns this stuff. But.
It's okay though. He gives me money.
Yeah, that's good then.
To me, John, because
yeah,
you shit on our.
Why are you in Chewy's chat? Do you want me to
It's not me, you fucking delusional. It's not me, you fucking idiot. That's not me in his chat. Look at the name. When he's fucking Clay Dabbler, one word.
Calling me an idiot.
No,
see, John immediately so sensitive.
No. You can't. I'm classic Casey Day line, but you can't see this. John's smirking like he's fucking with them.
I take it more as like, now I've won.
Oh,
you've called me an idiot, so I can change the argument to that now.
Interesting.
That's how I see it. Maybe I'm being too cynical.
Look at the name. When he's fucking Clay Dabbler, one word.
Calling me an idiot.
No, because you're fucking pissing me off with all your bullshit. And all this fake lies that you keep fucking putting out about me.
Hey, calm the fuck down, please.
What? Go on. What bullshit are you going to say next? I'm not in the cunts. I'm in Chad's chat. Yeah, I'm in Chad because Chad's fucking funny and I like watching Chad. I'm not in.
It'd be great if Clay Dabbler, if like I didn't watch this clip and Clay Dabbler was just like, I like Chad because he's finally telling the truth again. I watch this man on the journey to truth, and he discovered what the meaning of Christmas is. I'm like, oh, me and Clay were on the same page today.
One, I fucking hate the community and I hate the fucking TSN network. Two, it's on too late for me. You're on at like 12 o'clock at night. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not in there live. I've been in there once in a blue moon when they're doing a Clay Dabbler show and I've commented. And whenever I comment, they know it's the real me and they bring me up on screen. If there's a fake Clay Dabbler, they probably don't bring it up because Phildo knows it ain't me.
It's very in the weeds and confusing.
It's your legend boyfriend. I'm the one that cries, yeah? How many DMs have you got from me complaining about losing a wrench? Show me any evidence about me complaining.
That's a good point by Clay. Like, this guy, the legend, has brought Stuttering John's show to a grinding halt to be like, there's a guy, the guy that runs the chat is being mean to me.
How much does this guy pay John?
He throws a 50 and 100 every once in a while, I guess.
All right, that's substantial.
Yeah, I don't know how often, but John did say on his next episode, he's like, this guy has given me possibly $4,000. He's my friend.
He bought it. He bought
Like, most of my friends have given me no money in their lives.
Legend's the one going, John Clay's being mean to me in Chad's chat. Clay, I can't support someone that.
Clay,
your fucking bitch friend, the legend, is a bitch. Kick me out. Legend, you're a bitch. Suck my fucking cock, you loser. You're a relevant pay pig. That's the only reason you're known is because you give money. And then you believe his bullshit that he's not in Chad's chat. Why would there be a fake legend fucking giving 50s and 100s? You just believe any bullshit that geezer tells you.
Clay, the legend is my friend who gives me his number and gives me his email. I'm just
he's a bitch.
We're going to get to why that's a horrible idea to give John your email and phone number. We'll explain that in a moment, but let's continue.
Yeah, and Clay like loses points because he keeps fixing his fucking stupid mask this entire time.
He's not perfect.
Bye. I'm done.
Oh.
Goodbye. Get out of here. Fuck you.
Can you go back? What happened? They were having a conversation.
Fucking giving 50s and 100s. You just believe any bullshit that geezer tells you.
Clay, the legend is my friend who gives me his number and gives me his email. I'm just
he's a bitch. He's a bitch.
Goodbye. I'm done. Goodbye. Get out of here. Fuck you.
Amazing.
That's it. I'm not dealing with this fucking guy. He's not going to insult my fucking friend.
Wow, what a hero.
Not happening.
John, first of all, none of these people are your friends.
Nope.
Like Clay Dabber, obviously, they're not. They never met each other. They're people in your chat room.
Yeah, like me and Mike are true pals. We've met.
Sure. Yes. Best buddies.
Yes.
It's a charity that Craig attends. but yeah, these are people in your chat, John. Like, I hate this idea of like, You've crossed the line now, Clay Dabbler. You've insulted the legend. These are not only people online, they're all using their online names. He's like, hey, the legend's a bitch. That's not crossing a line. It's like if John is doing the equivalent of going into Reddit and being like, hey, guys, be civil towards each other. No, they're online commenters insulting one another. What's the big deal?
I hope every super chat after this was the legend's a bitch.
John treats this like a nursery school.
Years.
Hey, you two play nice now, all right?
The legend is my friend. Don't you fucking sit there and fucking trash him.
Even when he's passionate, he goes, I got no idea what to do next.
Let's see. What do we got next here?
So his show gets derailed. But listen to it. Like, the whole time, John was like, hey, Clay, now that I'm starting to see you might have a point, let's move on from this ugliness. Let's sweep this under the rug. Come on, Clay. What do you say? Now that I realize maybe I'm wrong, I don't want to talk about this no more. The whole time, that's the energy that John has. Now let's listen once Clay is off screen to the tough guy. This is the equivalent of saying, yeah, I could choke out Nate Diaz.
Like he could. It's just unlikely.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't fucking give a shit. I don't fucking give a shit, Clay. Don't come on my show and start calling my fucking friends fucking names. No, that ain't happening. That ain't fucking happening.
John's the word
Legend
police
is my
now.
Was it?
John's the word police now. No, Clay. You said bitch, which is the naughty word of the day.
Yeah, he's gonna have a new shirt for his next show.
I laid out the rules very clearly. When once the bitch alarm goes off, I have to get rid of whatever guest I have.
Friend. It's not about giving fucking money. Dirty D's is my friend. He doesn't give me any money. Rob Soul's my friend. He doesn't give me any money.
Wow.
Don't you fucking ever think for a second that I'm that shallow.
You are.
That
I only care about people that give me fucking money.
Well,
I mean, the track record's not great.
Yeah, John, when I was on with Carl and we did the segment that I sent you where it was the fake Clay Dabbler that John was arguing with. And he goes, hey, you don't deal with a high roller like that. This guy gives me 50s and 100s. That's real money. So now that Clay brought that up, the argument is, I don't care if he's never given me a penny. That's my brother. That's my family.
It's like Remember the Titans, but for John Super Chats.
Ever. You fucking don't come on my fucking show and fucking trash my fucking friends. I talk to the legend all the time, most of the fucking time about baseball.
What's his real name,
He's
John?
not my friend and his son talking about fucking baseball. And I love
John's turning into a Ben Stiller character. I like baseball.
Motherfucker, don't you ever come on my fucking show and trash the fucking legend. Ever.
Why? I don't understand that.
I don't know. I feel like he's got to be closer to Clay than the legend.
Well, who cares if he is or isn't? What if Clay came on and
fucking stupid argument?
If Clay came on and trashed Rob Saul, John wouldn't give a fuck.
No.
If he called Rob Saul a bitch and a dog fucker, John would laugh and go, I don't know if that's true. It wouldn't be that big a deal. The fact of the matter is, he's afraid. John is a scared little boy and thinks that the legend might stop giving him $100 bills if Clay is still on the show. And John can't have that. It's weird because John keeps saying he's going to leave because he has some job lined up. Like, I guess he has a job. He had a job interview.
You don't mess with the legend.
So I'm going to be making a lot of money at this new job I applied for. I was like, well, John, if it's a job you had to apply for, like, John is at the state in his life. Recruiters are not coming after John to work on Wall Street.
Guys, I'm now a neurophysicist.
Guys, I'm trading stocks for Charles Schwab. I got a terrific gig. Who's gonna John applied for a 6-figure job and is getting it? Like, I don't think it works like that.
Imagine him on Wall Street with running around the floor with slips. You're just bump into shit. They'll go everywhere. You'd be like, oh shit.
John, that's not how we do it anymore. It's all computer based.
Yeah, we don't have to jump around, none of that shit.
Jordan Belford.
Yeah. This is the last clip here.
Okay, so this is the third course, the third roller coaster of emotion that John took us on Friday. I should have done more. I just knew this would take a while to get to. I would have liked to do more clips, but John's so pissed. We heard the mood he was in after Clay Dabbler was on.
Yeah.
And he goes, I need to get a real man on here to support me. Just get me Rob Saul. Hold on. I got to set it up. He goes, get me Rob Saul. So he calls Rob Saul. And, Rob says we're all dirtbags. I could still play the number. It is still up on John's channel. When John calls Rob and it goes to voicemail. And it says, you have reached.
Oh, no.
And it reads out every number. John just lets it play clear as day. And then John, but it was very important in this day and age, because I know you see that you missed a call, but John left a message saying, hey, call me back. So at least it was of the utmost importance. So he let the entire number play. And then Rob calls him back and is like, hey, did you give out my number? And John's like, absolutely not, under no circumstances. Someone's messing with you. That's ridiculous. And Rob's like, well, I'm getting calls and texts nonstop. So he's like, well, just come on and we'll talk about it. So Rob is constantly getting texts. He had to turn his phone off because the phone was going crazy. It kept dinging. And obviously it made its way to Reddit, I'm sure, and all of that. So plenty of people have Rob's number now. They keep calling him. And it was funny because then Rob starts answering the phone and he's like, hello. And the person on the other end is like, hey, John gave out your number. And Rob has to be like, yeah, I know. So John's trying to be a good guy. And for Rob's trouble, he's going to Venmo him $40.
Ooh.
I don't know how we got that number. I don't know the calculation that made, but that's supposed to make it all go away. So John's like, turn on your phone. And Rob goes, John, if I turn on my phone, it's not going to stop fucking dinging. Like, my phone's going to go nuts if you turn it on. And so John's like, no, turn on your phone and give me your Venmo. Which it's like, hey, give another piece of information on the air.
No shit.
So John makes him turn on the phone, and then this happens.
Oh my God, this is awful.
Will you just text me your Venmo?
I can't. Every time I go to pick up my phone, I'm answering calls or sending.
I don't give a lot of credit to Rob Saul. Considering the fucking burden that John has put on him, he's being pretty playful.
I would be fucking so angry.
If this guy's yelling at you, and by the way, John does this great thing where Rob keeps joking about it. He's like, oh yeah, like I trust you with that. You're going to give out my number again. And John's like, yeah, I've apologized. I'm not sure what more you want from me.
I said sorry.
You should be over it by now. It's been upwards of 9 minutes.
Credit for John too, like having that many people listening that this guy's phone is done.
True. Yeah, good for John.
Not stopped lighting up.
So what? Just go to your messages and text me.
No. Hi, sir. Is that all you had to say? Okay, Noga. All right, thank you, sir. The calls aren't stopping. I can't get.
Actually, this is kind of fun.
Hold on. Go back just a little. Listen to that again. John tells him this is fun. Let's start picking up the phone. This is a funny segment.
Actually, this is kind of fun. You should almost keep answering it. It's kind of entertaining.
Yeah, let's do it.
But
This is not edited.
hello.
No.
All right. They said it with the A, though, but
I don't care. Just stop taking the calls.
That's not edited. That is literally John says, "Hey, we should start picking up these calls." It would be hilarious. Someone screams the N-word, and John goes, "Rob, what are you doing?"
That's very funny.
Rob, you should have thought of that. I would think that would have to be edited, where like 20 minutes later, a guy says and John's like, no. To go, hey, Rob, keep answering the phone. Immediately.
No, what are you doing?
Rob, no, you moron. So it was a lot of fun that on the John's Friday show. There was a lot more to it. I just didn't want to spend all fucking day on it, but it was mayhem and chaos. And then John, so classily, is like, Rob, you know I'm sorry, right? And Rob's like, yeah, I know. I'm just like annoyed. And John's like, well, I did my part.
Well, anyways, get over it.
Anyways, have fun at fucking T-Mobile. All right. Is that it for today?
That is it for today.
Are we before 1 o'clock?
Yeah, 20 more minutes.
Oh, we did it. We finally got done before football.
How it was supposed to start.
That's exciting.
Now you can find out that what's his face, Boomer Esiason's no longer on that show. You have time.
It's funny that like the reason I thought of that is they were like on Red Zone. They were like, let's go to Matt Ryan. And I was like, oh, Matt Ryan's on CBS. He's probably sitting right next to Boomer Esiason. Boomer Esiason's been on there a while. And then randomly I happened to mention on a Kirk show, and he's like, well, you know, Boomer Esiason's gone. Why would I bring this up? I just look like a moron now.
It is crazy that he's gone.
I know. He had such a run.
What a long run.
Well, oh well. How's verygoodshow.org going?
I haven't touched it. Like,
Anyway.
that's a November problem.
Okay. Very good.
But go there. VGS is coming back.
Is David Collins good to start on the?
I'm sending it. I've looked into stuff and things, and we're gonna go for it.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Yes.
So yeah, David Collins should be good. First Wednesday of November. Check that out. It's Drive Time David Collins right here on this YouTube channel. And if you're watching this YouTube channel, or even if you're not, if you're listening, pop over to YouTube, subscribe, because the goal now, if you want to hit the goal, which we'll probably get back to that next week. We took a week off of Aaron because I talked about him the other night on Who Are These Socials?
Next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about the goal next week. But if you want us to hit our goal, help us get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of this calendar year. Got 2 more months, baby. Let's get to 10K. Very doable. So that's the goal right now. And blindmike.net is where you can get all those links, support the show. We appreciate it. Go to j37shop.com. That's where our boy Joe from Virginia is. And like I said, keep him on his toes. Go back every day. Go back tomorrow and be like, hey, Joe, this is the same as yesterday. You know? So I want you there every day monitoring this son of a bitch.
False advertising.
Yeah, we'll call him out. So go to j37shop.com, pick up your goodies. I mean, that drop should be in the outro, by the way.
The goodies.
Yeah, do we have that?
Was that the Jerry?
Yeah. Let me hear.
Let me see here.
Hey, Craig, what can you get at j37shop.com?
Is that on here? Shit. That might be on the other one.
What could you get at j37shop.com?
Say it's Boogie.
That one?
No.
He pays his rent with his Patreon.
Well, how do you have that and not the other one?
I think it's on my other computer. I haven't played that in forever.
No.
Oh, you want some Jerry? Here we go.
Do you believe it?
What's that?
All right. Good enough, I suppose.
We got some super chats I almost didn't read and probably would have got yelled at. Let's see. The people that we don't read super chats.
Okay.
We're not like Carl. Patrick Ford, $2. He won't change the name of the Uncle Rico show.
Patrick.
You
Go
need
back,
help.
go back to your family, man.
You got a new baby, dude. Chad's missing upper lip, $2. Is this going to the goal or Craig's legal fund?
Both.
Nice. Good support.
Yeah.
Trent Pivo, $2. Sorry, I don't know. Blind people could hear. Oh, that was the hearing aids guy.
We'll learn something new.
Yeah. Andrew Kelso, $2. He's made Shuli. He's mad. He meant to say mad, but he wrote
What did
me.
Andrew Kelso do to you that you've completely disrespected him? From the tone in your voice to not misreading this?
Because I'm trying to read it, and he's supposed to say he's mad Shuli did a better job than Vince the lawyer, but he wrote made, so it screwed me up.
Well, sorry, Andrew Kelso, for him calling you a blithering moron. I thought it was a fine chat. I don't know why Craig has to humiliate you like that.
Silence do good, $5. Craig, can you say yay super chats in your sexiest voice? Yeah, super chats. Is that good?
No, yay, super chats was the request.
I thought it was my own take on it. I don't have to do that.
No.
Yay, super chats. That one?
Was that clean? Do it again so I'm not talking.
Okay. Yay, super chats.
There you go. Use that for whatever purposes you want, sir.
Mikey Grabbags, $5. Jackie Robinson's wife was an underrated as a terrible celebrity death pool guest Thursday.
Terrible?
That was the most random name I've ever heard in my life.
Terrible? She's 102. She's going to die.
That was insane, though.
A terrible guess.
Yeah.
It was a perfect guess.
I guess so.
If it was a list of Americans, she would have been on it.
That's true.
And I'll tell you this. If she's not, then it's a shit website. How's that?
I mean, I would have never thought of that.
She's very old. I know you wouldn't have thought of it. That's what makes it a good guess. You're stupid.
Good point.
You're a stupid man.
Hulkamania gifted 5 Blind Mike Project memberships.
And by the way, thank you, Hulkamania. To be clear, I'm not saying that you are penis wrinkle. I don't I don't want there to be confusion. Because that's his real name. Stupid.
I got it. That'll be the name of this episode. Is just stupid. Don Fried Chicken, $10. Off topic, but I watched the Jeff Foxworthy Why You Laughing. The amount of Bill Engvall bashing made me want to see Why You Laughing about how bad of a comedian he is. Also, Craig is a pedo or whatever.
Well, thank you, sir. All good points. Yeah, the Jeff Foxworthy episode. As I say at the beginning, Jeff Foxworthy is not a lot of skeletons in the closet I could find. A pretty uncontroversial guy. So it did at times turn into a Bill Engvall bash fest. But
Oh, and that felt good.
yeah, I hate that guy.
It felt good. Oh, and we may have stumbled into the post Quincy life.
Oh yeah, watch Why You Laughing for that.
Watch Why You Laughing. Mark Abatasti, whatever the fuck.
You missed all these?
No, they're just.
You were like, there's a couple super chats I missed. It's like 40 of them.
Yeah, there was a lot. $5. A fake legend gave Chad a $400 super chat. I don't think even Vince would do that. And didn't all those shows' numbers blow up while John was gone?
I don't know. I don't know enough about their numbers to know that.
I
would find it hard to believe.
Shit.
I would find it hard to believe Shuli did better without John, because the show is about John, you know. But
yeah, the legend to us, Stu Pitt, with a super chat.
Well, thank you, stupid.
$2. Did KB figure out what Crumbum or Northwest Ken did?
I have no idea what that means.
Me either.
Northwest Ken, I believe I met at Skankfest. I hope I'm not doxing him.
He went to a show?
Yes.
HACKRIDE, $2. Octobox, after Blind My Project, I'm fucking hard.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little disappointed with these messages I'm getting about the Octobox.
Yeah, he pees all the time.
Oh, nothing to do with that. You see what it's been the last couple weeks.
Mm-mm.
It's 6 boxes of football,
Oh no.
and then the control room and
It's
Scott Hansen.
It doesn't count.
No, it's not an octo box. We can see you anytime, Scott.
Dang Lizard, €2. Kreger's sexiest voice is a kid's voice. Yay, super chats.
Interesting.
Nope, I was just going by what Carl did,
Well, do it again. Let me see if that's a...
Nope, I did it once. The guy paid us. And DJ Electra $2. Stop doing this.
Oh, yeah, you guys don't have to pay me.
Mike, did you hear that Pauly Shore is ... And stupid. I'm guessing that's the fill in the blank.
Okay, interesting.
And that is all.
Well, that's a nice way to wrap up. Good. Speaking of HACKRIDE and ELECTRA, go to hackridethedemon.com. They're on tonight at 9, right? We could send this audience there, but we don't know how. So
I don't know how.
Tough titties, bitch.
Yes, that's right. HACKRIDE, what time is the show on tonight?
9 or 8.
I thought he said it was an hour early to save people's, or his. I think he posted something like, "People's time is precious."
What the hell does that mean?
He didn't want to take up most of their time.
It's the same amount of time.
Yep, just earlier.
I don't understand. You can also not watch if you don't want to.
True.
This is me saying this, HACKRIDE, or Casey, whoever you are.
Which
have some confidence, for fuck's sake.
10 p.m.
They won't watch if they don't want to.
It's 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, so you were completely wrong.
Yeah, we were somewhere in the middle.
No, not the middle.
Well, I think he goes by his normal time, which is 3 hours behind us.
Yes, I understand how time zones work. You said it was an hour earlier. It's an hour later.
You know what's better than this conversation? Unboxing Eric.
That's debatable, but I enjoy. I do enjoy the show, so go watch. All right, we're out of here.
And we have a mean transition.
Hey, it's Boogie. Sappers clear the way. Everyone all the way.
Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you're listening, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon. I am proud to own the Trumpy bear, and I will always be proud to be an American. Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,
There's no cum on my mic.
rock on.
Stop the baloney, huh? What kind of statement is that? I wrote it.
One of my favorite players to cover when he was here was Mike Vrabel. Tell me Mike Vrabel's story.
Whatever, dude. I keep it cool at the gym.
Piss on it.
Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. All right. Stop, my belly hurts.
My dad was in the military.
Was that, sir?
Can you please kindly F off, please?
If a person is on a bridge threatening to jump, how do we know that he wants help?
Money, 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 money. Fuck, please.
Anyway, God bless America.